I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins, and you're listening to Sit Down Marks.
Good evening, Marks. Tonight we will have a chat with the former PGP franchise champ, former two-time IWA Mid-South Light Heavyweight champ, Zawa World Fireweight Tag Team champs, and current Zawa Tag Team champion. Please join us with 2 out of your 3 favorite wrestling nerds as we welcome Bucky Collins. Bucky, thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
I know your schedule has been a bit busy through the month of August, so we appreciate you taking the time to sit down and have a little chat with us. Just a few things we want to find out about Bucky Collins. So, okay, the first thing I want to get out of the way, like I know you probably get all kinds of questions that repeat over and over and over again, but I'm going to do some of those because I find them interesting.
Hey, I know the answers to them, so I love answering them.
the easy ones, just get them in there. So you are from the LaSalle area of Illinois, and how exactly did you get your start in professional wrestling?
I'm not mostly from the LaSalle area. I'm more from, I live in like Elizabeth, Illinois, which is close to like Galena. It's in that Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois tri-state area. And I got my start with me and a buddy of mine. We had we did what pretty much all wrestlers do. We had our own backyard / basement fed growing up as high schoolers. So we were super popular. And
I love those stories.
Yeah, we would literally, it was me and like maybe 5 other friends, and we would I think we each had like 5 characters each, and we would just cycle through and try and do our own shows. We had 1 year, we tried to convince our local fair to bring us on to do a show, and they wouldn't do it because we were pretty much 5 high school kids with mattresses saying we wanted to beat each other up in front of a bunch of families. So we decided that we were going to do it in his backyard, and we had someone walk out with a sandwich sign around the fair, and we called the show Unfair in protest of the fact they wouldn't bring us on. I mean, why wouldn't you want to bring on 5 kids rabid on Mountain Dew that want to beat each other up?
It sounds like a pretty good attraction. And you're right. Like, I think as like wrestling fans, we all did that. Growing up, I know I did. Like, my brother's still mad at me because I used to give him macho elbows all the time. But yeah, like you took it to the next level, which is great. Like, you turned that like childhood love of wrestling into an actual professional career, which is awesome. And you mentioned earlier about how you had like 5 different characters. There's one thing that I'm very curious about. So I saw you at the Iron Spirit Pro show it was like a month ago, and your character absolutely stole the show. Like, it was kind of fantastic. I want to know like how you came up with the current like iteration of Bucky Collins. Like, where did that come from?
Man. Well, the current iteration, just being Buck Nasty, was just I spent a lot of like my first couple years or so just being like a typical smiling, please cheer for me babyface type. And then I don't know, I've always really been like drawn to like the kinds of wrestlers that just are I don't know, I've always been drawn to facial expressions, so I always draw more from that and trying to express myself more through that way, because I always see wrestling as a medium that you're trying to say something without really saying something, and the best way to say something is through your face. And I've always focused mostly on on my facial expressions or try to get it through whatever I want to say through that.
So do you find you get to be more creative as Buck Nasty? Like because you've said in interviews before that this is your creative outlet, like no matter like what you're doing in your like day-to-day life, like you use professional wrestling as like your creative outlet. Do you feel like you get to express that a lot?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I'm nothing like Bucky Collins in real life.
I was
think
very surprised when I met you.
I'd probably be arrested if I was like Bucky Collins in real life. But it's a way to express a part of myself that I don't feel comfortable expressing in public in my personal life, because I don't want as outgoing as I seem when I'm Bucky Collins, I'm kind of reserved to myself when I'm just by myself. So there are parts of me in Bucky Collins, but in the same sense, it's a way to express myself in a way that I know I can offend people in a safe manner.
And a highly amusing one too, by the way.
Oh,
it's
thanks.
Very, very funny.
Thank you.
So growing up, like who are some of your influences? Who are some of your idols, as it were?
Oh man. And growing up and now is way different. Like by my first foyer into wrestling, I came home from an AYSO soccer game when I was in middle school, and my brother was watching Raw, and it was the moment where Steve Austin drives the Zamboni into the ring and then tackles Vince and everything, and my brother looks over at me and he says, "Isn't this the stupidest thing you ever saw?" And then I didn't miss a Raw for like the next 3 years. And but yeah, that was like the first thing that really drew me, because it was just this crazy event that happened out of nowhere and everyone's going insane. And yeah, I've just always been kind of drawn to that. Just the crazy stunts and that you wouldn't see in like an actual kind of athletic contest. Because I've never really been much into sports growing up as a kid, because my brother played all of them and he was 10 years older than me growing up. So my parents would drag me to all the sporting events, and I would just be like a 6-year-old kid that was trying to play under the bleachers while my parents yelled at me.
All right, Primo, you wanna get into a couple of questions before we get back to
man. So
wrestling related things?
For sure, let's go outside the ring a little bit here, Bucky.
Sure.
Couple quick things. What is your least favorite job that you've ever had?
Oh man, my least favorite job. I remember I worked at a Pepsi distribution plant for a little bit, where I didn't mind it, but the thing that I hated the most was it was around winter when I had it, and the hours are long enough where I would go in and the sun wasn't up, and then I'd leave and the sun was just going down. And there's something about not seeing the sun for like a week straight that kind of messes with you.
Yeah, it kind of kills your soul a little bit.
Yeah. So no living in Alaska for you or anything like that?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. I need some vitamin D in my life.
That's awesome. What kind of music do you like?
Man, my music palette's all over the place. My wife makes fun of me constantly because I'll just like a whole bunch of songs on my Spotify, and it'd go from 80s to rap to 90s alternative rock to pretty much anything that catches my attention. I'll listen to on a constant basis, and if it's catchy, I'll listen to it, and it's all over the place.
Really, really quick, what's your current entrance music? I've been trying to find it since the show at ISP, and I have not been able to find it. What is it?
It's Comanche by the Rebels. If you have ever seen Pulp Fiction, it's the song that Marcellus Wallace gets raped to in Pulp Fiction.
So it's a happy song, man.
It's very happy. Yeah, it's a joyful song. I did it when I first started using it, I did it as a joke because I kept getting put on all these family shows, and I legit wanted to hear kids humming the song Marcellus Wallace Gets Raped To in Pulp Fiction.
How perfect is that for your
I
character?
mean,
That's amazing.
That's pretty great. Do you watch any TV during your downtime? And if you do, what's on your TV?
Yeah, I watch a whole bunch of stuff. Me and my wife will go through stints where we just watch a whole bunch of something until we get sick of it, and then we'll move on to something else. Right now we pretty much fall asleep watching Scrubs right now.
Great show.
Nice.
Good show.
Yeah, we'll pass out watching American Dad, watching The Simpsons. Yeah, I don't know. I'll watch whatever. Like I'm not ashamed to follow the trends, and if people are talking a lot about something, I'll watch it.
I hear you.
It's funny that you mentioned Scrubs right now because, like, I mean, if anyone listening right now wants to come and piggyback on my Wi-Fi, the password for my Wi-Fi is pancake drawer. I don't know if you guys remember that from Scrubs where they have a pancake drawer. But anyways, that's my little side story.
That's great. Speaking of pancakes, the world wants to know, Bucky. Pancakes or waffles?
Oh man. See, I grew up eating pancakes, but I think if I was just given the choice, I'd probably go waffles because I like the crunch.
Okay.
And then you get those pockets you can keep the syrup in.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, a little butter and syrup stuck in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are both craziness.
I like both. I like pancakes.
Yeah, I like both.
When they soak up the syrup, but I like a crunchy waffle, if that makes sense. A well toasted one.
I put peanut butter on pancakes. Is that
no,
weird?
that's not weird. That's normal.
No, I'd go for that. I'm more of a syrup person, but hey, to each his own.
Both pancake.
I feel like I'm being judged for my peanut butter on pancakes.
That's okay. I'll just judge silently. It's fine.
I'll hit you with a couple more of these either ors: Skittles or M&Ms.
Oh man, see, I can't do sugary cereal anymore. I'm too old, so I will have to go M&Ms. I don't know, like sugar-based. I don't know, sugar-based candy. I don't know. I'm getting that point now where I don't go to the dentist enough where it hurts my teeth.
You mean like sugar-based as opposed to like chocolate?
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, chocolate never bugs me, but if it's like strictly sugar-based, like it hurts my teeth. I don't know why.
Yeah,
so not a big Starburst fan or anything like that either.
No, I'm kind of falling out of that too. Like I don't know. Plus I'm always afraid that it's gonna pull for some reason, like super like taffy like candy. I'm always afraid it's gonna like pull my fillings out or something.
Bad news.
Scrambled eggs or sunny side up?
I gotta go scrambled. My dad used to eat sunny side up, and he would just spread the yellow yolk stuff all over the place, and it just was all runny. And I always thought it was gross as a kid.
Yep,
so it scarred me enough where I can only eat scrambled eggs.
My kids are probably getting scarred then, because that's what I do.
It literally just looks like yellow mucus, and I was like, ugh. I have to go scrambled from now on.
You know, now because I used to like sunny side up eggs, but now every time I see it, I'm gonna be like yellow mucus, and we just need to scramble this up. I'll just take some peanut butter pancakes.
It's the best part of the egg.
Peanut butter pancakes.
All together.
Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris?
Oh man, I gotta go Bruce Lee. Chuck Norris is kind of a fun for a joke, but man, you can't beat Bruce Lee. Actually, I'd go one further. I'd say Jackie Chan.
Oh, okay. A little audible.
I would actually agree with that.
Man, you watch some of that Jackie Chan stuff. It is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. He's great.
It's funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
I watched Rush Hour not that long ago. He is the most dangerous, adorable man.
He's like a koala bear that could murder you.
Yeah. Like 1 minute he seems like a guy you want to hang out with, and the next minute he is like legit spin kicking 9 people in the face.
And using chairs and ropes and all kinds of things that are just laying around.
Anything within reach.
Ridiculous. And then I love like watching Jackie Chan movies, and then like they always for the credits to just show all the times he got hurt, and he even gets hurt in adorable ways too. Like he's always like he like scrunches his face up like oh, and then like everyone acts like it's such an adorable, funny thing, and then everyone was around him like, oh no, oh my god, like it's serious, and it's like, oh shit.
His femur is actually jutting outside of his skin right now. Look at that! Is an adorable face.
Everyone crowds around him like he's about to die, but he's acting like, I don't know if he's trying to liven the mood or something, but he just kind of like bounces around like, oh god, I think I just broke my tailbone, but it's adorable. So it's like, I don't know, I can't take it seriously. Like if Jackie Chan were to get hurt in front of me, I would be like,
like, oh, like pat him on the head, be like, there you go, fella.
Yeah. No, take me to the hospital.
What are some of your favorite foods, Bucky?
Oh man, I've gotten really into Chinese food and Mexican food. I don't know.
Speaking my language.
If someone brings up sushi at the right moment, I can't think of anything but it, and I need it to satiate immediatly.
Awesome.
Did you say satiate instead of satiate? Because that makes it even better.
Yeah. Sushiate me. Exactly.
Wordplay.
There you go. That's a trademark. That's a trademark. Don't steal that.
Patent pending, sucker.
What are? Do you have any phobias? Are you scared of anything?
Oh man. Sure I do. I'm just too stupid to think of them right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still get irrationally afraid of police, and even if I know I'm not breaking the law,
I think that's
if a
everybody.
cop drives by me, I automatically think he thinks I'm doing something wrong, and he's looking for a reason to pull me over and ruin my life.
Right.
Like if you see one, and even though you know you're doing nothing wrong, like in your head, are you like, okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I going to go to jail for?
Oh yeah, I'm constantly doing that, even when I'm not. Yeah, even if there's no problem, and I always think, okay, what am I doing wrong? That's from my mom. My mom was always worried about stuff, so she passed that down to me. Where if I don't have anything to worry about, then I worry about worrying about something.
Like worrying about what it is to worry about.
Yeah. I know I'm forgetting something.
I'm not worried enough about this right now.
It's just a blanket worry that I'm going to throw over everything.
Yeah,
I'm saving this worry for later. I know it needs to be there.
I need to.
Bucky Collins, if someone were to write a biography about you, what would the title be?
Yeah. Oh man, who cares? I don't know. I don't know.
It's very, very similar to what Big Beef said. I think he said,
just meh question mark.
Minus my few endeavors in wrestling. I don't do too much. I don't know. I'm just like a small town guy that just loves doing stupid stuff. So there you go. You can call it that.
Okay.
That's pretty good, actually.
Speaking of doing stupid things, if it's my last question, I'll pass you back to AJ here. If you could go back and give your 10-year-old self some advice, what would it be?
Don't be afraid to act stupid in front of others, because I was a pretty shy kid growing up, and I was always afraid of what other people thought. And then around high school is when I met the core group of friends I have now, and the thing I really pulled from them is that they would like force me into situations where I had to look stupid in front of people, and I think that's kind of how I really got into wrestling too. Is that it still allowed me to guard myself by not like me, Joel, being the one being stupid in front of people, but I can now create this persona, and he can be stupid in front of people, and I can still kind of get that without admitting that it's me.
Right. I understand that.
That's all. I kind of want to be a professional wrestler now for that exact reason. That's amazing.
If you hate your knees, it's a fantastic line of work.
I do hate my knees.
Mine are already shot, so I'm there. Okay. All right. That's all I got for you as far as outside the ring. AJ, you got anything else?
Yeah, I do actually. A couple more questions, Bucky, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So dream opponents. Who you got? Who do you wanna face?
Oh man, dream opponents. Is this like current or retired also?
Whatever you want.
Oh man. I never apologize to say that probably I think one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time is Arn Anderson.
My boy Arn. That is such a great answer.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. Like people always point out Ric Flair, and yeah, I agree. He's amazing, but I've always had much respect for people that know their role in certain areas, and Arn is that perfect person where he could easily take the spotlight if he wants, but he always knows when to take it and when to step back and let other people shine. And you watch an Arn Anderson match, he can go from looking like the most imposing person to looking pathetic just to make the other person look better than him. And I have way more respect for that than anything. And I think he's one of the best to do it.
I agree. He was like one of those like old school heels too. Like he would, put his shoelaces in the eye and, hold the rope while he's tagging for that extra little bit of leverage. I love stuff like that. I'll
watch Brainbusters matches all day. They're fantastic.
What about contemporaries? Who would you like to face?
Man. Man. I don't know. I'm very old school and I love watching wrestling. So I don't know. I'm pretty laid back when it comes to work with people. I don't think too much about like the opponent. I just like to think about what I can do to enhance the person I'm working with, even if they are probably way better than me. But I don't know. My real love for professional wrestling is like taking the style that you work and then the style of what the other person works and then melding it into something that looks entertaining. And I think I focus more on that than I do like who would be a dream opponent.
Okay.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. That's a really good answer. Like and you're very good at that too. From like what I've seen in your matches, like that's like you come out and you get your gimmick over and everything, and it's great, and the crowd all, boos you, and then whoever you're facing, from what I've seen, you do your best to get them over and you succeed, and it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, like I usually if I'm working someone and I know they have a certain amount of footage out there, I'll try and watch it and absorb it and see what I can do to make it look as good as possible, and also what can we build around that to enhance it to when he actually hits it on me. And I don't know, I think that's what I get the most in terms of creatively out of wrestling for myself, is to how am I going to make a match with whoever I'm working with work. And I focus more on that than like, okay, who's like the best person that I can work with. So
what's on the horizon? What you got coming up in the future here?
We have a show for Zawa on September 11th. I think it's at Northside Barbecue in Oregon, Illinois. And beyond that, I think I'm coming back to freelance sometime soon. They better bring me back. I have their tag team title with me.
Nope, that's yours now. Like,
hey, unless they want it, I'll have to come back in. But yeah, freelance sometime in the near future, and then whatever bookings I get in the future, I'm more than willing to take. I've never like pursued it as much as I probably should, but like I just take bookings as they come to me, and it's usually not a lot, but I don't know. I enjoy what I get, and then I also like having a life outside of wrestling too. So I never like try to desperately to pursue bookings. I kind of like the maybe like a booking every other weekend kind of thing.
Okay, that's understandable that you want to have balance the two aspects of who you are.
Yeah.
Really,
I'm
really
newly married, so I don't think she'd allow
Hey,
me to be gone every weekend.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you.
How newly are we talking? Like the last year or like 4 days ago?
Yeah, like about a month ago, July.
Oh wow!
Congratulations.
Yeah, July 3rd. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
We are rapidly running out of time here, so really quick, is there anything you want to plug? Your Twitter is at Bucky for everyone, correct?
That's right, Bucky #4 everyone. Yeah, if you want to check out, I'll usually keep I'll post a lot of my bookings up there if you want to try and find me. But if you want to find other places that I work, you can check out Zawa Live. They're available on IWTV if you have IWTV, so you can look up Zawa Live on there. Yeah, any other that's the main place I'm really working right now. But yeah, if you want to keep up to date on any other bookings I have in the future, the best place to probably check is my Twitter at Bucky 4 everyone.
All right, Bucky, thank you so much for coming on the show with us tonight. It's been a fun conversation. I still think you're wrong about waffles, but hey, that's fine. That's fine.
I didn't say pancakes were bad. All right,
no, I'm over it. It's fine.
One or the other.
I'm never going to eat eggs again ever if they're not scrambled as well.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Bucky. We really appreciate it, man. Would love to have you back at any point to just shoot the breeze and just have talk more about anything really. And we're really thankful that you came on.
Yeah, sure, man. Don't be a stranger. Yeah, this is fun. Thanks.
Bucky, thank you so much. This has been Bucky Collins. Go find him. Find him on the things. Follow him. Go to his matches. He's amazing. I promise.
Thanks, guys. Everybody take care. This has been Sit Down Marks with Bucky Collins. Hey there, Marks. That was Bucky Collins' interview. Thanks for sticking around this long. Make sure you tune in now for the main show of Sit Down Marks, episode 26.
Man, that was a really awesome interview with Bucky Collins, man. Did you guys have fun interviewing this guy or what, man? He is a really awesome wrestler here in the Midwest. We were so happy to be able to talk to him. Man, if you ever see Bucky on a card at a show, get to it, man. Check this guy out, right, AJ?
He's the most entertaining. He's the most entertaining, the most funnerest. Nope. Both as a performer and as in the interview, he was awesome. Like I could have talked to him for another hour and been completely okay with it. What a cool guy.
He truly was really fun to talk to and energetic during the whole interview. And we'd love to have him on. We can't wait to have him on again in the future.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. He always cracked me up. The first time I seen him was up in the Midwest in this little town called LaSalle, Illinois. Used to be the home of a promotion that is no longer there called Dreamwave Wrestling. And he always showed up and put on a show, whether he was working funny face or, the heel you wanted to see get the crappy out of him. He's great at what he does, man, and he really sells and does awesome. Funny story real quick, guys. The last time, one of the last shows, Dreamwave Wrestling, up in LaSalle, I got tickets for. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash was supposed to be there that night.
Yeah, okay.
One of them showed up.
I bet it was Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash was the only one that showed up. Yeah, there was a lot of people in the building that night, and my boy Scott didn't show up, man. So
did Big Kev dye his hair that night?
It was already short. It was already short and gray, I believe. So
he let it pepper.
So yeah, he was embracing his oldness.
But
by the way, I meant to ask Bucky about the Dreamwave promotion, but then I got so upset about his answer about the waffles, so I was like, no. Everything else just went out of my head, and I was like, how dare you, Mr. Collins?
Just
How
changed
dare
up the
you.
game for you. Want to thank Bucky for being on the pod. We'll have him back. Go check him out if you see him on the card. Check him out on all his social medias. I believe his Twitter handle is Bucky for Everyone.
At Bucky for Everyone.
There it is.
Awesome guy, awesome performer, awesome wrestler.
There it is right there. All right, guys. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 26 of the Sit Down Marks podcast. The number one global
Number one.
podcast in the world.
Love you, Thomas.
There to my man, Thomas Bright. Awesome. Glad everybody has joined us here today. We got episode number 26, man. Wrestling is the talk in the world right now, baby. How big is it, boys? It's hot.
It's a thing. I'm underselling.
It is.
You staying low, so you pop later.
It's cool.
It is pretty awesome. Not gonna lie, and I am at this point. We'll get more to it later, but
that's why I'm underselling.
Yeah. I'm
gonna just throw it out there. I may have watched one of the best pay-per-views in my life this weekend.
I was gonna say,
okay, that was one of my questions that I was gonna ask. Was this one of the best pay-per-views of all time?
I was gonna say on our agenda somewhere it says best pay-per-view of the year, and I was thinking,
no,
at least last 10 years, maybe the last 2 decades.
Sure. I was small balling it, so we could talk big about it later. So we'll bring that up. But
now we're gonna big ball it.
Big.
Joining us here today, I am your heel host, Dirty Bird. These are my co-hosts. That one over in the top right-hand corner is the co-host, and from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme himself, editor and producer of the show.
That was so dainty.
Primo, how many days have you been champ?
100.
It doesn't matter how many days.
Hey, the champ is speaking. 149 days.
What an ego on this guy.
Put some respect on the champ's name.
That is pretty awesome. 149. You couldn't give us 150?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not impressed.
Tomorrow will be 150. Don't worry about it, because I am your reigning, defending champion. You guys had the chance.
Did you actually write rating? You did. Okay. Yeah.
You guys had the chance.
This is real. This ain't
and
a
you missed it.
This is real.
By one match. It shouldn't even count.
Hey.
Doesn't
matter if it's an inch or a quarter mile. Winning is winning. Fast and Furious.
All right,
Aesop is the baby face straight out of your mama's kitchen, assistant editor and the show. What's up, AJ?
What's good day. Hello, Marks.
Good day,
That's not the thing from the movie. Oh, hi, Marks. There we go. That's what I do. By the way, that is from The Room. I don't know if anyone has ever seen that movie, or The Disaster Artist is the movie they made about the movie. It is the best, worst movie of all time. Everyone should go watch The Room.
The Room.
And you'll get the Oh, hi, Marks reference.
I thought you said...
Oh, hi, Marks.
I thought you said the Roo, and I was thinking of those...
like the French gravy. Yeah.
The magic kangaroos that were like ninjas in the forest.
Wow, we all went in different directions with Roo.
Name's Rick Roo.
Wheezing the juice.
It's a Roo day. Yes, it is.
Wheezing the juice.
Wheezing the juice. All right.
Oh, I hate us so much.
Go back to episode 25.
Yeah. I do too. Let's get this thing rolling.
We're the worst.
Beef, bring us in, baby.
It's the Beefs are here, and I'm telling you, you better turn into the Sit Down Marks podcast with AJ, Dirty Bird, and Primo. And if you don't, Beef's gonna have to hit you with that beefy bomb. Tune in, folks. They won't disappoint.
Yep, it will. Big Beef, can't wait to see him September 24th. We're hooking him up. He's going to be wearing those Sit Down Marks podcast shirt here at a wrestling event near you. Can't wait to see him, man. We got him some nice, pretty colors here, so we can really shine out on his shirt there. So
I'm excited to feel like a celebrity when he's wearing our merch. I'm like, yeah, we're a big deal.
Can't wait for that. I want to thank everybody watching right now on Twitch, everybody in the chat, also everybody listening right now on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, and SportzWire Online Radio every Friday at 6:45 Eastern Time, right before the number one global sports report show in the world, Thomas Price. Go check him out, man.
That's right.
Another shout out to him, man. I think I wanted to I had to practice on that. I want to make sure I got it right. So, Thomas,
love that guy.
I hope.
Yeah, he is fantastic.
He has the best chops in the business.
He does in both like talking chops and literal chops. I guess literal chops would be like either like chops or like pork chops.
Chops.
Yeah. Hair chops.
Are you a shake and bake guy?
I
just said hair chops.
Chops.
I regret my word choice.
But yeah, online SportzWire, online radio Fridays at 6:45 Eastern, right before the Thomas Bryce Show, and also throughout the week. Primo, tell us what's going on this day in wrestling history and wrestler birthdays.
This day in wrestling history, September 8th, in case you forgot what day it is.
Whose game is it?
Primo's game, baby.
Right.
The champ. 1991. Ric Flair makes his WWF debut. How about that?
As the real world's champ, wasn't that his gimmick? Didn't he still have the big Goldie belt when he made his debut?
Right, and they shortly took it up from him.
I would imagine, yes.
Yeah.
That is a whole bunch of lawsuits.
Year 2000. Let's move forward 9 years. I can count. Rhino defeats Kid Cash to win the ECW TV title and become the final title holder before ECW's demise.
How was that news on this day?
Because it was the last TV title holder before ECW.
It was a slow day, AJ.
But it's Rhino.
It really was.
A slow day.
2006, CZW down with the sickness forever. Eddie Kingston defeats Chris Hero to win the CZW championship.
Ooh.
I would love to talk to Chris Hero. I'm a huge Chris Hero fan.
I am too, man. Except for the fact that he's a Duke fan. But what's funny is I've ran into him a few times, and I have pictures, and we've talked about Duke Carolina basketball. Yeah, he's super cool, dude, man. Love him. I hope he's back on the Indies soon. Honestly, he's got a great podcast too, by the way.
Yes, he does. I listen to it.
Conrad
awesome.
there with the King of Pods. Love. That's pretty awesome.
I mean, that's no Rhino TV title bullshit match.
It's no core. It's no core.
Yeah, no.
Core.
Who did he beat? It doesn't matter because they're not a thing anymore.
Oh, yeah. Wrestling birthdays. September 8th. 1978, we have... 1978, wow. Is that... Did I write that down correctly? Rebel, not Reba.
Wait, 1978?
I need to research that. Can you fact check that for me, AJ? Rebel, not Reba, birthday.
On it.
1971.
Okay.
David Arquette.
Ah!
Former WCW champion.
Oh, God, yeah.
He made the wrestling birthday list.
Hey, knock David Arquette if you want.
He got beat to the snot out of him by Nick Gage.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he was scared of the pizza cutter.
Also, he loves wrestling. That's why I never gave him too much crap, because he absolutely loves wrestling. Oh,
sure.
By the way,
what?
It's 1978. She's 43.
Who is?
Wow, Rebel.
Don't act like that's old. Y'all keep that.
I mean, hey, it's not old, Rebel. Okay.
She is basically a dust mummy at this point.
No.
Anyone who's over the age of 42, dust mummy.
No. I'm 32, so that's not too far out of reach.
Yeah, and then in 10 years, you'll be a mummy made of dust. Get used to it.
Okay. 1964.
Podcast, a bunch of jerks.
1960. No, I was saying she wasn't too far out of my reach. 1964, we have
Cougar status.
Raven.
Ooh.
Raven.
Quote the
Raven.
Raven.
Quote the Raven.
Yeah.
Sometimes
AJ.
I love Raven, and then other times I'm like, you're stupid, Raven.
I like long hair Raven or dreads Raven, but not shaved head Raven.
I don't like big stupid collar Raven in like TNA when he had his boner friends with him.
The flock was awesome in a lot of different ways. It was kind of transcending in some ways. Like, Punk was in the flock.
Punk was in the flock.
I know, that's so weird.
A lot of people was in the flock. Lodi, one that used to do the signs for the flock.
Not Raven Simone.
Yeah, not Raven. That's so Raven.
No, Raven Simone.
Yeah, Raven Simone.
And that's this day in wrestling history.
AJ, talk to us, man. What's going on? Is any wrestlers in the news today?
Oh, okay. So we've got some things going on. First of all, you guys want to talk about Triple H? So
yes,
he had a heart episode, is what they're calling it, because he had like some sort of congenital disease.
Yep.
And so he got rushed to the hospital and stuff, and I guess he's expected to make a full recovery.
Right. And I saw
a procedure, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Procedure, and I saw it said WWE update. Well, what do you update me from? Because this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Update, because apparently we're just supposed to know that he already had an event, a cardiac event.
Yeah, they kept the wraps on it while it happened. So
what they were doing in NXT caused him to have a bad heart.
Honestly, he's probably like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Blech.
Oh.
No,
that was his heart being like that.
No, in all fairness, though, we hope he has a good recovery.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's scary.
Triple H game. Yeah, I was glad to see that they say he's going to have a full recovery.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, no. Triple H has a lot to do with wrestling today and in wrestling history, and he's one of the best ever, man. Absolutely, full recovery. Hope he ends up being all right.
The first time I read that article, because it wasn't from WWE, it was on like Bleacher Report or something, and it said Paul Levesque, and I was like, oh, I forgot that was his name, and that was his name. Like initially, he was like the French
Blue Blood
diplomat.
with Regal.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Paul Levesque. What was it? Levesque? Is that what they said? Levesque or Levesque?
Levesque.
Well, Paul. Well, Phil.
Bon vivant.
What's next, AJ?
That was Rene Dupree. Up next, Kevin Owens' contract speculations. His contract is ending with WWE. Can AEW
pretty big?
Can they handle any more talent at this point?
Well, three-quarters of Mount Rushmore from back in the old days is already in AEW.
Yes.
These guys are four best friends.
Did you see the tweet?
This is a must, almost.
Did you see the KO tweet? Do you know what I'm talking about?
What was it, Primo?
So KO, Kevin Owens, for those of you marks who don't know what I'm talking about, he tweeted quickly the coordinates to Mount Rushmore and then deleted it.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
Look at him go. By the way, Kevin Steen for you super marks.
Super marks.
Yeah.
They put a cape on him.
Interesting. Sounds like sooner than later, according to Twitter today. But yeah, that's I don't know, man. That's almost a must to me. Yeah. So he's my favorite wrestler. He goes wherever he wants.
Like you will follow where he goes.
Yes. Yeah, I hope he comes to Chicago.
So a bit of sad news. Shannon Spruill, aka Daphne from WWE, has passed away at the age of 46. That was really, I loved Daphne back in the day, and like when I saw that, I was like, it makes me sad.
Yeah, suicide is a terrible, terrible thing. You see a lot of people, wrestlers, everybody. We won't touch, on exactly what happened, but it's an awful thing. And Daphne, I watched her more than I realized. When I started seeing some of the stuff get done, and I was just sad to hear about that, man. So 46 years old, man.
Yeah,
that's my age, man. That's wild.
So sad. Really quick, by the way, because since we're talking about this, National Suicide Prevention Hotline. 800-273-8255. Help us out there. So it's so sad, and so
yep. Totally
always someone to talk to if you need someone to talk to. Now it's all bummer and stuff. I'm gonna sadly say my last bit of news. The New Day have a movie on Netflix called The Escaping the Undertaker.
Wait. Is this a cartoon?
No, it's live action.
No, it's them.
It's real.
And it's going to be amazing. It's like a choose your own adventure kind of. I can't wait.
Not with that negative attitude you never
No,
watch
I
it.
want. Unless my kid drags me into it, but
sure, your kid is going to make you.
There's two things I've ever watched with movie wise. I watched The First Marine.
Awesome.
I never made that mistake ever again. Okay.
Now, what are you talking about?
And then I watched The Marine. The first
Marine with John Cena. That one stunk. Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Stunk. They're terrible.
I mean, I haven't seen any of the rest of them.
I saw I think it was the third one.
Sorry, Miz, but I hadn't seen them.
I saw the third one with the Miz, and the Miz was like the only good part of. Okay, never mind. He wasn't.
Who was in the second one?
I did like Cena.
The second one was going to be Randy Orton.
The Kane.
Oh, the second one was
Anderson, Kennedy,
Ted DiBiase.
Ted
DiBiase was the second one.
That's right.
So
was the other one.
Ambrose was in the 12 rounds.
Yeah.
Wait, you've never seen the Scooby-Doo WWE crossover?
The cartoon?
Yeah.
Yes, I
highly with the Ghost Bear.
Yeah, I've seen that.
On like Cartoon Network, but
and it's amazing. Go watch it.
It was on Netflix.
Yeah, that's where I watched it.
You're welcome, Netflix. Free plug. Pay us.
Any other headlines for us here, AJ? That's it?
Yep, that's all I got for headlines in the news right now.
Let's talk about the show today. Welcome, everybody. Episode 26. We're going to talk about AEW All Out. We're going to talk about our top 5 most hated wrestlers. For whatever reason we hate them, we're going to talk about them today. We got Promo School, Kurt Hennig. Nice little 1-minute promo with Coach. It's kind of funny. I'll play for you later. Me and AJ are going to battle it out in Squared Circle questions. Once again, I want to thank everybody for downloading on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, SportsWire, online radio at 6:45 on Fridays. Primo, but tell us, brother, where can we get that Mark's merch? Get them shirts.
Mark's merch you can get at
Grab them shirts. Go on.
tpublic.com/users/sit-down-marks. Go there, buy some shirts, buy some merch, buy some masks, buy some hats, buy everything.
All right. Well, we had 2 precursor shows leading up to All Out last weekend. We had Rampage on Friday. AJ's going to talk to us about Dynamite from last Wednesday. Talk to him, AJ.
It's weird talking about these 2 shows right now, considering what happened at All Out. We'll get to that. So I'm gonna go very quickly through these 2. Well, AEW Dynamite first on the 1st of September. It's their 100th episode, by the way. Yay for them! 100 episodes.
Oh yeah, nice.
So, a couple of points. CM Punk promo again, and so he acknowledges the fact that the novelty of him being back is going to wear off. And so he's just taking in the whole entire thing while he can. I don't know if the novelty will wear off. I think it's just going to be a novelty from here on out. And plus, he's awesome.
He was still in Chicago. Are they still in Chicago?
Yeah, they were still in Chicago.
Yeah,
They go to Milwaukee next. I mean, but tonight they're in Milwaukee. So he was then attacked by Daniel Garcia for a nice little beatdown. Sting and Darby Allin come out to make the save, which
Daniel's still everywhere.
He is winning a lot of people over, like a lot, including me. Like, he's awesome. But then Sting and Darby Allin come out for the save, and we got our first go to sleep in 7 years.
Wow!
And I marked out big time when he I seriously was like, oh,
it was cool, man. I was like, oh, BTS. Like,
it was great. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't save that particular move for the pay-per-view, because I was being greedy and I wanted it. But then after the heels scamper, Sting gets on the mic and actually thanks CM Punk for coming to AEW, which was the coolest thing ever. Sting is the best.
Right.
So this whole entire thing continues to be absolutely amazing. What else do I have here? Oh, MJF and Jericho promos. Just continuing their, not continuing, but kind of hyping up the match for All Out, which was, of course, if Jericho loses, he retires. Jericho gave a great promo with Jim Ross in the ring. The fans were 100% behind him, and then MJF, does the heel side of that with Tony Schiavone, basically. And it like, if this were a show to sell people on buying All Out, it was like anyone needed more convincing to buy All Out, but it worked. It worked very, very. It worked a treat, as they say in Ireland. I don't know where they say that. Finally, main event is a 8-man tag match with the Elite versus the Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express. I'm just going to read my notes exactly as I wrote them.
Let's hear it.
Spot. Ray Phoenix is the best. Spot. Kick. Spot. Flip. Spot. Young Bucks win. Spot. Cage comes down. Awesome. That's it.
This was Dynamite, right?
Yeah, this is Dynamite.
This is where they brought the cage down, and
Yep, and all the baby faces try and get in the cage, and the Elite's in there and just throwing old timey rock'em sock'em robots punches.
Yep. And they really sold hard here for the Bucks.
Yes.
And I was like, they are dropping the belts at all.
And I was saying, I hope Dirty's watching, because me and AJ were right.
Yes, we were.
Right.
As we tend to be.
As soon as I seen that was, I was like, yeah, all right.
So those were the main points of Dynamite. There was some other garbage that happened. Brian Cage, Powerhouse Hobbs, sure. Garbage. Orange Cassidy, Josh Evans, sure.
AEW's garbage is like
10 times better.
Yeah, compared to the other stuff.
Like the Powerhouse Hobbs and Brian Cage match was actually awesome. Same thing with Tay Conti and Penelope Ford. That was awesome. But it was just...
you have all 10s and a couple of 8s.
Yes. Yeah, so it's a good time to be an AEW fan. So that's Dynamite leading up to All Out.
All Out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good deal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to Thursdays next week, or the day after, Impact Wrestling. So coming into tonight, kind of the big thing for me was who was going to answer Josh Alexander's open challenge to any former X Division
I forgot
champion.
about this.
Yeah, so that ended up being later on in the show. But what we did to start off the show was a little teaser of Tommy Dreamer and Christian talking about a possible matchup if Dreamer beats Ace Austin. So as the show kind of starts, not a whole lot happened really. A lot of side matches. Kiera Hogan made a return. The big couple notes was Morrissey and Moose kind of looking like they may team up here to go against Sammy and Eddie Kingston somewhere on down the line. So anyway, Moose goes to the ring, calls out Eddie. Morrissey comes out, starts beating up on Eddie, and they dismantle Eddie Edwards pretty much. So it does look like Moose and Morrissey are a tag team. They said something like, they don't like each other, but they like what each one of them stands for. But all right, so next up, guys, about middle of the show was the Josh Alexander Open Challenge. And they did say it was by a former X Division champion. So Jake Chris answers the call. He is a former X Division champion. Pretty good match. He used to be in, I think it was OI4K with Sammy Callahan.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And with the other Chris brother. Josh ends up winning. It was a really good match, but post-match promo was that he was going to defend it night in and night out because he wants to be talked about as some of the greatest champions ever. And then so Chris Sabin comes out, who is former 8-time champion. I had to rewind that to hear it right again. They said it was 8-time X Division champion.
I love Chris Sabin. He's so awesome.
It sounds like they're going to have a nice little match coming up soon. I think at Victory Road, which is their next pay-per-view on Impact Plus on September 18th. So last two things that happened the other night, Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona teamed up against Rohit Raju and Shira. Rohit Raju and Shira end up winning, and that was kind of like the co-main to the end of the night. So the main event was Tommy Dreamer versus Ace Austin. So, so this was the stipulation was if Dreamer beat Ace Austin, he would be in the 3-way. It would make the 3-way match between Christian and Ace Austin and Tommy Dreamer if Dreamer wins. If Ace Austin wins, he just gets his revenge on Dreamer because Dreamer stuck his nose in his number one contender match the other week. So anyway, Dreamer does what Dreamer does. He put over Ace Austin. So Ace Austin and Christian will face off at Victory Road. So Christian getting a lot of screen time here, boys.
Oh yeah, for sure. He should. I mean,
Sure.
he's carrying the championship, so might as well, right?
And he's still awesome. So,
Yep.
of course, he should get a lot of screen time.
Yep, love it. So that was basically Impact. Like I said, not a lot happened. They're setting up to Victory Road, which I think, unfortunately, is going to be on Impact Plus. So, nothing happens on that. So we'll see about that. So one little quick note about the Indies. I wanted to highlight a show that's happening this weekend. AEW in Cleveland is running I think it's this Saturday night, one of their first shows back. So check those guys out. Next week I'll come back more with everything that's going on the Indies. But let's hop on, AJ, to AEW Rampage, which was...
Wait.
Yes, you in the hat.
Did you hear what happened to Ace Austin AEW?
He won the Heritage
He won the Heritage title, and then Hakeem Zayn. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Hakeem Zayn. What was it? Some sort of cash in, or did
he came out? I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
something like that. But then he got hit from behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then he had it for a whole couple seconds.
Yeah, I think that was the only title change from that weekend. Me and AJ, only a couple weeks left to we're going down to St. Louis. Holy crap. I'm going to go over it next week, but that card is building, man. We're going.
I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Davey, he was in the Wolves with Eddie Edwards. Davey
Richards.
Boy Smith.
Yes. He's going to be, he's on the card. They've been announcing a lot of good, man. It's going to be awesome. So, all right, AJ, let's get Rampage, which
We're
this one was a
skipping
little
SmackDown?
longer.
No one cares about SmackDown.
My bad. Oh, my fault. It cut off my page. I didn't see
SmackDown
it.
airs before Rampage.
Yeah, but
aware.
it's
I'm aware.
SmackDown.
Yep. No, on my page it printed.
No, it's okay. It won't be long. Trust me.
All right. Well, Primo, let's
I
go.
literally kept it to 3 points per show.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you. Smackity down. We have first point. Becky grants Bianca her rematch for the SmackDown's Women's Championship, but will not say when. Afterwards, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville decide the win for her because they tell her that it will be at Extreme Rules and there will be a contract signing this coming Friday.
I love it when you just stop and are silent because you're like, are you
And he does his hand like he does his hand like a circle, like.
Like, are you seriously talking right now? I'm going over the points to SmackDown. I will wait.
To do that, yeah.
I will take this show hostage.
Primo is. It's not a gimmick. He lives it.
Go on.
So so Bianca and Becky
cup.
has determined that the match will be at Extreme Rules, and there's a contract signing coming this week on SmackDown. Next point we have is Rollins is in a match with Cesaro. Ends up the match after the match.
Those were sad handguns.
They were.
I was looking down, and all I saw on my peripheral was. All right, let's try. Rollins is in a match with Cesaro.
Better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anyway, he gets Edge's attention by getting DQ'd against Cesaro and beating him down with a chair. Edge comes out to make the save. Says he's going to take care of Rollins next week at the Garden in Edge Rollins 2.
MSG, huh?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I just wish it wasn't at the cost of who was previously the hottest babyface in the country.
Yeah, Cesaro is just getting shit on.
Yeah, it's like, Cesaro was super hot, but now, let's have him be a tool.
Honestly, that would probably be the smartest thing they could do right now because there's a lot of underground.
Crap on Cesaro?
No, like push him. Push him because there's a lot of underground love for Cesaro, and
Cesaro section.
Cesaro take the belt off of Roman at Mania.
I don't know. That's a little too far.
That's already reserved for Finn Balor. Thank you.
We got time. We got plenty of time. Cesaro could go to the moon.
I'm calling this right now. Demon Finn takes the belt off of Roman eventually.
All right. If he don't, then you gotta do the pod in your underwear.
I mean, I'm already in my underwear. You just can't see it because I'm sitting down.
Does your underwear have a black T-shirt attached to it?
This is actually a onesie.
It's the List of Jericho onesie?
Yes.
Oh, nice shirt, by the way. List of Jericho.
List of Jericho onesie.
Yeah. Let me throw my shirt out there real quick. Hi,
look at that. Look at that.
Ultimate Fighter, middleweight champ Brian Battle hooked me up with a shirt this weekend. I got a great story later for you.
What was the thing that they said about Kenny Omega? Was it this past week? They said something about straight from the buffet at Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Anyway, last point of SmackDown: Roman Reigns defeats Prince Finn Balor to retain the Universal Championship.
However,
Paul Heyman also informed Roman that Brock will be on SmackDown next week.
I just want to interject that Finn got beat down before the match.
Oh, yeah, he did get beat down before the match. Sorry.
And then he got low-blowed. And then he still didn't tap out. He passed out.
I like that, though. The kick out with the low blow.
There is a...
Put your finger down. Put your finger down.
There is a...
This is his thinking gesture. This is a...
there's a theory out there, and amongst. Did you see when Roman was walking away, the light suddenly turned red flashed red for a second?
Demon Finn.
That's what everybody's saying. Everybody's saying Demon Finn.
Yep.
So
bring him back. Beat Roman.
Little teaser. Yes. I love Finn, but I like Finn. I love Demon Finn. Love Demon Finn. I like the production. I like the pop.
Yeah. So this coming Friday we have. Edge and Rollins 2 and Becky and Bianca contract signing. So much to look forward to. Yeah. And that's SmackDown. Smackity down. On to you, AJ. AEW down. Rampage.
Smackity down. AEW Rampage is another short, sweet. I love Rampage so much. There's no fucking about it. It's just boom, 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 and we're done. So first up, Malachi Black versus Lee Johnson.
This one was a little longer than normal, right? Wasn't this one
it was a little longer, but it was. I think it was like an hour and 17 or something like that with all the stupid.
It still went by quick.
So Malachi Black says, he said on Dynamite that he was going to murder Lee Johnson, which
Murder Hawk
seems. How dare you invoke Sir Arthur Murder Hawk?
Lance Arthur Murder Hawk.
God, it's so awesome.
Let's all take a 3-second moment for Sir Lance Murder Hawks.
He hasn't been around.
We're acknowledging his greatness.
He's busy defending.
3 seconds, I said.
Why do you have to look to the side to acknowledge his greatness?
Because that's how you
We're gazing
reflect.
to the distance.
We're
gazing to Japan where he's defending the IWGP US Championship.
I'm still mad at him for interrupting Dan Lambert like a month and a half ago. That made me mad. So he's still on my shit list.
I thought you were mad at Scorpio Sky for being...
I'm just mad at him
for re-signing with AEW today.
Yeah, a 5-year contract.
All right, AJ, you get 5 more years.
Where's he going? Nowhere.
You know, he didn't make my list, just so you guys know.
He said that you're the worst.
I'm an ass man.
He's ever seen in his life.
Hello, lady. That hurts. Don't try that unless you're actually Val Venus. Anyways, so it's Malachi Black versus Lee Johnson. And Malachi Black's entrance gets better and better each week. Like, each week they make it seem more
Yeah. They're doing
spooky.
small little tweaks and stuff. Yeah, like they're dialing in the the light and the dark like perfectly. Like they're doing awesome with these.
It's spooky.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I like his Satan slash. See, this is how you do a mask correctly, WWE. You don't put a sex gimp mask on someone and then send them out there a la fucking sex gimp. What is this? Carrying cross. There we go. Oops.
What are we doing? What are we doing? I cry every time his music hits now.
Because you get to see the nipple suspenders.
We could just be happy we're down to 3 points because he's not on my list today.
Thank God. So during this match, Malachi Black and Lee Johnson, Black was getting like annoyed that Lee Johnson was like trying to get an offense and stuff. So he goes out and he gets a chair and he like gives it to Lee Johnson. He's like, here, do this so I can murder you finally. And then of course he murders him. Malachi Black murders Lee Johnson and gets the win. And then Dustin Rhodes comes running out because he's looking to avenge his brother. Obviously, match forthcoming. So this is the one point where it had nothing to do with All Out. It was just kind of Malachi Black needed things to do and look awesome. So there you go.
Yeah, I like the head thing. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's how you do it correctly.
Yeah.
You see, all masks, they don't have to be sex masks. They can just be cool, spooky masks.
I totally agree.
Up
those after Demolition.
Up next, we have Chris Statlander in a handicap match versus the 43-year-old Rebel and Jamie Hayter.
Who was that first wrestler you said?
Dust Mummy Rebel.
No, Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Chris Statlander.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
She's awesome. I love Chris Statlander.
You damn right you said her name. That's a Jeff Hardy interest theme right there.
Yeah. Wait, I'm going to try and do it in my best dirty impression. Wait, ready?
Yep.
I'll make your dick hard right there. Nope, that was terrible. That was terrible.
Good stuff. Yes, it was.
So the only notes I have for this, like, obviously Chris Statlander wins, so she looks awesome going into All Out. She is freakishly strong. Like, good Lord. She's got to be the strongest female wrestler certainly in the company. Like, screw you, Jade Cargill.
Yeah,
Chris Statlander.
Are you not talking about Jade?
No, I think Chris Statlander is stronger than Jade Cargill. She has like show offy muscles, and then Chris Statlander is just like
she pressed somebody just like Bianca did.
I don't like your attitude, Primo.
How long till we get a Jade Cargill, Camille, match? NWA World Champion. You know, she's pretty jacked up herself. This would be quite a fun match to watch, I think. At some point.
Would be. It'd
Especially
be a good.
If we're collaborating, I'd like to see that.
It would be a good Lady Hoss match, like just beating the crap out of each other.
Sure,
I'd be okay with that. By the way, Statlander wins. Like that was the result.
Yeah.
So main event is Darby Allin versus again Danny Garcia, all over the place. And CM Punk is on commentary, and when he comes out, like we talked about this already, about how some dippy idiot fan offers him a beer. What are you doing? You are clearly not a CM Punk fan. If you're like, here's an alcoholic beverage.
I was on Square Circle today, the Reddit forum, and basically there was a guy on there. He claims to be the brother-in-law of that guy. And he was like, apparently the dude was drunk and it was in the moment. And it was like, hey, one of my favorite wrestlers, let me share what I got with you and he just didn't think that it was beer in his hand. And it was CM Punk.
Which I feel like that's fair.
Straight edge. Did he say I'm straight edge, I think, or something like that?
Oh, CM Punk? He looked at him like, what are you, fucking idiot?
Yeah, like what are you doing? Why are you offering me a... What if he would have like taken it and just started chugging? And he just completely falls off the wagon.
Jericho goes, I knew it.
Or he goes to take it, like throws it over his shoulder or something.
If I can't drink,
no one
can drink.
He dumps it out right in front of him. This is bad for you. Pops him on the nose.
Don't do this. Here, have some Powerade instead. So yeah, Darby. What do I have for this match? Darby runs. Oh, he runs and he hurls himself at the end. Did you guys see that where he just launches himself at the announce table and hits nothing.
Yeah.
It is awesome as Darby being Darby. And then during the match, Darby started using CM Punk moves, which I appreciated. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. That was funny.
And of course, Darby Allin gets the win. And then after the match, 2.0 attacks, but Darby Allin fights him off by himself, even though both Sting and CM Punk.
We say, what's their shirt say? What does their shirt say? It says
something awesome.
It says something like, "You want a piece of me," or something like that.
Outwork everyone.
Doesn't say outwork everyone, does it?
I'm kidding. That's Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was funny. I love 2.0.
I do too. Them and Daniel Garcia are awesome. So after that, he looks great going in. I mean, obviously, there's not anything obvious, but that was basically Rampage. All it did was
Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that led up to the most awesome of pay-per-views we have seen in a long time. AJ is going to break down. We're going to read each match. Talk about what we thought here real quick. This would probably be this was a really awesome. Let's talk about the pre-show real quick. It was the return of Ruby Soho, aka Ruby Riott from WWE. She was the Joker. She ended up winning the Battle Royal. Battle Royal wasn't that good. It was okay, but glad to see her back. She was the first return of the night.
Yes. Oh wait, that was on the main card.
That was on the main card.
Yeah,
that was on the main card.
They had to cut.
All right, let me say, I watched a lot of wrestling because I've been all over the.
I was so confused. I was like, wait a minute, that was like in the middle of the show.
I thought that was the pre-show that came on.
It was. They moved.
Originally,
they had a different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I did watch all the matches separately. That's how I had to watch.
Okay. Yeah, they moved that to the main card because Pac and El Idolo couldn't.
Yes. All right. Well, AJ's going to read the card here, and we're going to just break down each match here real quick.
Okay, I'm going to try and go in order, but I don't exactly remember. So it's kickoff Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the TNT Championship.
Redeem these nuts.
Redeem these nuts. This match was great. Eddie Kingston looked great. I mean, he lost obviously because Miro's not going to lose anytime soon.
And Miro did tweet back, "I did redeem your nuts."
Yeah,
he tweeted, "Consider your nuts redeemed."
That's right. Yeah, that's what he said.
Consider your nuts redeemed.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
And then
what a great kickoff for the show.
"I'll redeem yours when you get home." Did you see that?
Yeah, it's so cool.
I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
What was next? Was it Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima?
Yeah.
That was the next match. So what do you guys think of that one?
I think Mox is the new GCW champ. We'll talk about that later.
Right? Yeah, they mentioned that briefly.
This was good. This was, they had locked up before. Yeah, they had locked up before. So, it was entertaining.
The bigger news was who confronted him.
Hell yes. And what even made me happier about this is the whole crowd knew exactly who this guy was when he came out. Minoru Suzuki made his appearance at AEW All Out. He gets in the ring with Moxley, and I love they're about to have, blows. And beforehand, Moxley does and then he starts, he does the bow, and then he starts.
Respect, yeah.
Yep, loved it.
Let me say this about Minoru Suzuki, okay?
He's crazy.
If you don't know anything about him, first of all, go Google and look it up. But if
you're
a wrestling
yes.
fan, you remember back in the day, everybody used to say there was one guy you wouldn't mess with, and that was Haku, right?
Mm-hmm. Haku.
Haku was the baddest sumbitch in the world. Nobody would mess with him at all. Minoru is that new guy. Nobody mess with him. He is tough as nails.
Yeah.
He's been in so many big matches over there. I love his style. He wears a towel to the ring. Reminds me of the old Mike Tyson style. Just jump in there in the ring ready to fight. No gimmick other than just whipping ass.
Yep, just being an absolute badass.
He is legend. Everybody wants to wrestle him. Y'all have heard me talk about it. He's doing a little U.S. tour. He's hitting Charlotte, St. Louis, so it looks like he's going to be here more, man, because this is going to be awesome. This one I didn't see coming, and I was super pumped about it, man. This was nice.
I was also very excited about that. And I can't wait for Moxley and Suzuki to have a match. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Yep, for sure.
So what is up next? Let's do...
What's up with that?
What's up with that?
Dr. Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's Championship. This was a great match.
EMD.
This
Yeah, we know what was going to happen here.
I know, like there was
nobody's taking it off Britt for a while.
No, they
can't. Gonna last longer than Omega, I think.
Lockjaw.
It took her a long time to get the lockjaw in, though, which I don't understand why that's so difficult. All you do is rock, and it's in. Like her hand at one point was just free, and I think Jim Ross was like, "Can't you get in the lockjaw?" And all she had to do was just
the Sunrise.
Oklahoma.
Stop a blood hole in your boot, suck.
Stop a blood hole in your ass.
So, yeah, obviously Britt Baker retains, beats Chris Statlander, but Chris Statlander still looked good in the loss.
Yes, she did look good.
As Chris Statlander does.
That's the thing she does. She looks good.
Time to time. She does.
Amen.
So we might as well just...
The congregation said.
So it wasn't a P-break match. We've already talked about it, but the Casino Battle Royale.
That was QT and Paul.
So I have a newfound appreciation for
that led
the
off
reason.
the card, did it not?
No, it was the
match. That was the piss break, literal piss break match. That was the cool down.
And they knew exactly why they were putting that match. Paul White and QT.
They placed it perfectly.
Yes, they really did. I have appreciation for that match now. So we're just going to get into CM Punk versus Darby Allin. So I have one gripe about this match before I turn it over to you guys to mark out like nerds. You could see CM Punk calling spots. A tiny, tiny little gripe.
Yep.
That's the only thing. But apart from that, I went absolutely fucking nuts the entire time.
I mean, you couldn't hear him like you could hear John Cena. But
I know.
Yeah.
Clothesline!
Yeah, that was going to be my comparison that, I didn't hear him like I heard, but you could hear him, talking a little bit more than we probably should have. But, honestly, I was so wrapped up with everything that was going on with the moves and just watching him and to remember,
all the callbacks to Bret Hart and 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, and just, and then, we were talking about our pre-show pod, his tights. He had tights with the Chicago Stars.
Yeah, he had pants.
I like it.
Yep. He wore pants.
Yeah, he wore
pants.
Used to wear trunks mostly.
So
I think he used to wear just straight black pants a long time ago.
I have my own take on this too. And I'm probably way off. But anyway, I was thinking as soon as I saw him in pants, I was like, makes sense. He's older now. It's been 7 years since he's been in a wrestling ring. He was in the UFC cutting weight, so he cut a lot. His legs are a lot leaner than they used to be.
Yeah,
maybe not maybe he's not as comfortable, showing them off. Maybe
defined or
you know what I mean. And also as guys get older, that seems to be the thing to do is put pants on. So
to hide their varicose veins or
something. I just noticed you noticed that with Jericho. I mean, he went back to tights.
Jericho went back to tights.
In
WWE he went back.
Yeah.
But when Jericho wore tights, during his whole best friends with Kevin Owens run and all that stuff, he looked like a baby. In his tights, he looked like he was wearing. Yes, his trunks.
Young man's game.
Yes, he looked like a baby. He looked like a baby wearing a diaper.
Yep.
So I didn't like that look.
So I will say that CM Punk does a lot of he customizes his gear a lot. So it'll be cool to see the canvas that he works with on the pants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was so excited to watch this match, man. I felt like it got honestly, I watched Punk through the match. I was just kind of watching him, Darby, not so much, but just to, like I said, just to see if he was still that wrestler that he was, and and he's only going to get better. And I thought he looked good.
Yeah, there was a couple moments where I thought maybe he was a little blown up.
Sure,
and then
they
kept a good pace though.
Yes.
And then I think one of my favorite moments was with the coffin drop when he just sits up
and he just sits up and starts laughing.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't see that coming.
But for what it was, being Punk's first match back, I thought.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I was all in. I was freaking
Darby,
out.
props to Darby. He did an excellent job.
Oh, and we nailed it. Like Primo, you said, like Darby's going to lose, but he's going to get a big shine.
Yeah,
and he absolutely did.
He did.
And the storyline of this match was great too. Like it was great in ring and it was great storytelling. Like this, so had it not been for one of these matches that I'm saving, this would have been my favorite match of the year. But we'll get to that in a moment. So we have technically 3 matches left. We'll do Paul White versus QT Marshall right now.
It was the cool down after the Darby and Punk match.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely needed. Oh, I totally forgot to mention, I didn't forget because I hate him. The Gun Boutique or whatever the fucking name is, the Gun Club. Gun Club? Is it Gun Club? Gun Shop.
It's a club now, isn't it? It's club.
Gun Town.
Gun Club.
Gunville, USA.
They were the ones on the pre-show.
I hate them.
Or you didn't talk about them turning
heel. Yeah, they turned heel on Paul White.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hate them so much. Anyways, piss break match. Blah, blah, blah. So, before we get to the main event, we're going to... Oh, boy. This steel cage match for the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. The Lucha Bros. Shaka bro. This is the best match I've seen in 5 years, maybe 1,000 years.
It was pretty amazing.
This match was unbelievable. If you have yet to see it, which I don't know why you're listening to us, if you haven't watched this, like don't stop the podcast, like finish the podcast and then go watch this match. It was
it's too late now. You're invested. You're here.
Yeah, you can't leave until we tell you to leave. It was wow. I could not. The one thing that I want to mention, like I don't know if anyone's gonna talk about it, but I just want to get this in here. Brandon Cutler, when he hucks the medical bag over the, what a good shot that was.
Oh yeah,
like
money.
Just right on Matt Jackson, and Matt Jackson fucking drops it. Like, what are you doing? After that throw, you're gonna drop it and be a tool about it. And by the way, the bag had a thumbtack boot or a thumbtack shoe in it, and there were some brutal spots in the match with. Like Penta looked disgusting. Like he looked like because it didn't look like just blood. It looked like just burger. It was gross. Yeah, it was gross looking.
Yeah. Throughout this, when this match had been on for a little while, and I seen what they'd gone through, I was like, oh my god! It's like, man, if they don't put the titles on the Luchas now, like I'm gonna feel so bad. Like, oh my god, like it was that brutal where I'm like, they have to be winning the belts.
Like they definitely earned it in that match if they hadn't already. And you talking about the blood. I mean, I seen a picture. I mean, I saw it live, but afterwards I seen a picture as well of because Penta pressed his head to the title. Mm-hmm. It was just blood all over the title, which is cool.
That is a very cool image.
Yep.
The whole match was just fantastic. At one point, there was a top rope Canadian destroyer. Like, oh my god, Phoenix climbs the 40 feet into the air and does a splash onto everyone. And then, actually, one of my favorite spots of the entire match, and it was just spot. It was amazing. But my favorite one was probably when Matt Jackson goes to kick Phoenix in the face, and Penta dives in front of him and is like, no, like trying to rescue his brother, and then he gets hooved in the face with the thumbtack shoe. Gets hooved right in the face. So wow, yeah, go watch this match. I mean, wait, but go watch this match.
Definitely, that's like a must watch. That's going to be on the top 5 of the year and probably top 3. And only because we got a couple, months left. But it might be match of the year, man. This
certainly up to this point.
Amazing.
And the fact that there was a match of the year in my head already on the card once, even though this came on before CM Punk and Darby Allin, it was unbelievable. Like I can't speak highly enough about it.
Yeah,
because I'm a nerd.
It's probably in the talk of best AEW matches so far.
Yep.
Yeah, I put it right up there with who was it? Sammy and Guevara, and who did he wrestle? Well, he jumped off the rope and did the flip into the chairs. I think there was Charlotte maybe that night. Was it Darby they was wrestling maybe?
No, it was. Yeah, I don't remember. We're gonna say that it was Darby.
Yeah, it's in the talk though.
Yeah, I agree. So now, the main event: Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW World Championship, and I'm going to turn this over to you two nerds because this is the best ending to a pay-per-view ever.
Yeah, I mean it was a really awesome match, and when Omega grabbed the mic,
oh boy,
that's when my chill bump started.
Yep, I did the same thing. I was like,
I'm like, okay, here we go. Here comes the lead. Are we getting what we think we're getting? Are we getting more than what we think we're getting? Because there was two big names that were floating out there, and yeah, absolutely amazing. So basically Omega was saying, nobody's on my level. Anybody that can beat me is not alive anymore. Right? That was the first talk. And then whose music hits the video package there?
Adam Cole, baby!
Adam Cole, baby! AC
awesome.
shows up. No shocker. His girlfriend is Britt Baker.
Yeah,
so,
Britt Baker.
And Adam's in the talk of, top 10 in the world possibly. He always, his matches are always good. This was a big get, and then our eyes are this big because we don't even know if we're getting Brian today, and we don't know, if Brian's coming too that same night, and then my mind's really like.
Okay, so this is for the markiest marks of all the marks. This is a total.
That's you.
It's been an inside joke with the Elite for a long time since Adam Cole went to WWE. So like 4 years ago or whatever, the Elite has constantly said that Adam Cole's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why whenever he said they're either not here, they are not around anymore, or they're already dead. And as soon as he said that, that's when Adam Cole rose from the dead as they're playing it. I saw another the videos from the Elite where they were saying that he's back from the dead, and they did this whole seance thing.
That's so awesome.
Yep, and and it was just so cool, man. Just so cool. They recreated the Bucks kissing on both sides of the cheek, just like when he joined the Bullet Club.
Right.
It was the same thing when he was sitting on the mat like this.
Yes.
And they both kissed him on sides, so they recreated.
I was hyped. I was like, yes, thank goodness they went with that.
They made him heel immediately.
I love that. I love that. That was awesome. Yeah, he started popping kicks on Jurassic.
Yep. And then in the on the same guy in the post media scrum, Tony Khan said that during the Wednesday Night Wars, they were 74-1 in the shows. They won 74 times. The one time they didn't win a night was because of Adam Cole. Yep. And when he said that when Adam Cole came on the TV, it scared the shit out of Tony Khan, and he's so glad to have him in his camp now.
It's so awesome. Yeah. Like that alone right there would have been like this pay-per-view is already in the discussion for.
Yeah, and adding this on top of all that had already happened, like, oh my God.
But then,
amazing.
But wait,
there was more.
And then what happened next, AJ?
Oh my God! Ride of the Valkyries hit. And
bid you adieu.
I bid you adieu. I love how Omega does that.
Good night.
And then Ride of the Valkyries, and I lost my mind. I'm not even gonna try and pretend like I didn't, because I did. I like flopped on the ground, and it was amazing. Out comes one Bryan Danielson. Holy shite!
Ready to keep people's faces in.
And he did.
He looked so good.
Yep.
I like he was fired up. He's like, they hired me to wrestle. He said, "I'm here to goddamn wrestle." You know what I mean? And that he said those words, and there's a funny clip going around today about him saying, he's not like Punk, where he's here to wrestle the talent. He's here because he wants to kick their face in. You know what I mean? So this is great, man. Like, all right, so we got Ruby. Destination.
Cool.
Ruby showed up.
And they got the rights to the Rancid song.
Yeah. How awesome is that?
They are paying for they got a lot of real songs and interest.
I love
yes.
it.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when your owner is a multi-billionaire.
Right. Adam Cole, we had Minoru Suzuki, CM Punk's first match, and then the debut, and the nickname is officially back, the American Dragon. Brian is back as the Dragon.
Oh, man. My God.
What world are we living in right now, man? This is crazy.
I don't know. Was this one of the best? Mm-hmm.
Best.
Was this one of the best pay-per-views of all time?
The best, baby.
Yes,
it's one of the best, baby.
Well, if you will, it was definitely in my lifetime one of the top 5, if not top 3.
I agree.
Yep.
I don't want to speak too impulsively saying it was the best.
Yeah.
Because I haven't really thought it through, but it might be.
I think it's definitely in the conversation of best. Certainly in my favorite of all time.
Oh, it was awesome. Don't get me wrong.
It's the best AEW pay-per-view yet.
Here's what happened to me. Okay, we're gonna talk about this, but then I want to go back to the actual match after this. I watched it live. And immediately after it ended, after it went off the air, after Bryan Danielson's return, my first thought was, now, like, why do I need to watch WWE now? Because
yes, like what is the purpose?
I've been a WWE fan all my life, and at this point, at this very moment, RK Bro and Roman Reigns are the only 2 things that keep me coming back. Besides the fact that I have a podcast and I report on the stuff. You know what I'm saying? To me, WWE just is not near as exciting as AEW is right now. At all.
They're making all the big moves. You know what I mean? They're getting all the free agents.
Well, it's not only that, but they have storylines, and the wrestling is off the charts.
Well, sure. Yeah, they're going all in. They're putting.
They went all out.
Put forward. Yeah, they went all out. Right.
Yeah. So, and I immediately thought, I was like, man, I got to go from watching this on Sunday to watching Monday Night Raw tomorrow. Like, come on, what the hell? Yeah. Like, I used to be excited growing up to watch Monday Night Raw, and it's just now I'm watching 3 hours of. Okay. But and I just can't wait for that to get exciting again. However, I want to go back to the match between Kenny Omega and Christian Cage, because it was good. They went, man. They went for it. Christian can still go. He can go, and somebody needs to check on that man, because when Kenny turned that table upside down and stomped him, and that bar hit him in the ribs, I was like, oh no.
I know. Everybody went,
yeah, because I could just tell. And at the end, I thought, Brian, when Brian kind of helped him up at the end, I was like, maybe he is kind of feeling that a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe he was like, give me a minute here to, kind of breath out. Yeah, I know, right? We were all like, collective, like, you kind of like turn to the side. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, man. I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, that was pretty wild. But yeah, I mean, how exciting is that, man? With Brian showing up, man.
It is exciting. I like all of this. I want us. There's so many. Obviously, the first one that most of us think of is, Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia.
Sure. Yeah.
Like
He's
that's
already
awesome.
Ryan's already said Garcia's name too, so
Yeah.
it's happening.
Yeah.
And Garcia's, I'm sure, is
And
ecstatic.
who now that CM Punk has faced and defeated Darby Allin, where do we think he goes next?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they'll do that match again. I kind of feel like there'll be some sort of sidestep because Darby's already saved Punk already, right? You know,
and there was respect shown at the end of the
right,
match.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's like,
maybe is it Sting's turn? Is it, also now that we've seen him wrestle the first time, are we going to see him sprinkled in here and there on the weekly shows from here on out, or are they going to they're going to wait a couple weeks?
I think we're going to get a steady dose of him. I'm just basing it on they're probably paying him a lot of money to be there every week, or at least be or whatever, obviously. And then the other thing is, just buy the promo. It's like, I'm not busy on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Oh yeah, right, of course.
So I'm that to me says a close to a full-time schedule. So I'm hoping.
Did we talk about? There is one match that we didn't discuss.
What was that?
And that is Jericho and MJF.
Oh yeah, that's right. He left that one off, didn't he?
Yeah. Yep. So that one was the one. It was Jericho and MJF.
Do you have notes for Jericho MJF?
Oh shit! I totally forgot about Jericho and MJF.
Perfect timing.
Jericho won.
Yeah. So Jericho is not done wrestling. Because
this match was what it was. Hopefully this is the blow off.
This is
okay. Thank God, because I love both these guys.
Yeah,
but they need to move on.
It was a long feud, between Inner Circle, and Pinnacle. But it was like push MJF like the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho won the good guy in the end kind of deal.
Yeah, and I feel like with Inner Circle joining him there at the end was kind of some closure. They're back together. We can see the faction together again now. Yeah. They can all roll deep.
So where does Jericho go now? Like where does MJF?
We were just talking about this. So we were just talking about where CM Punk go now.
CM Punk, I think, goes to wrestling school. I don't know what I'm saying right now.
We said possibly a Sting match.
I'd be okay with that.
And then, I don't know, man. Like
we said, DB and Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia.
I would be on board with that. What about like Chris Jericho and Malachi Black? Put Malachi Black over even more. I'd be okay with that feud.
Yeah, I'd be on board. He's got to finish killing off the Nightmare Factory first.
Yeah, yes, he does. He has a couple more members that he has to get through.
Adam Cole who's he gonna start with?
Adam Cole might start with Chris Jericho.
I'd be okay with that too.
Or maybe somebody in the Dark Order or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Frankie Kazarian.
Is there a dissension in the Dark Order?
There is.
Oh, definitely.
Still.
Yeah. Come on, Bray.
Yeah, where you at, Bray?
And then also MJF, CM Punk.
I would say yes, but
killer promos.
Imagine, the mic battles.
Yeah,
that was the first thing I thought of before the rest.
Exactly. Yeah.
This could get legit real. All right. So anything else for All Out?
Yes, I do have a question now about AEW. So is this, if you think of like best rosters of all time, you think like, Attitude Era, where you have the star power of like Rock, Steve Austin, Undertaker, blah, blah, blah. Is this one of the best rosters ever?
It's one of the best. It's not the best, but it's one of the best because it's just all the current like people that there's hype surrounding is like on AEW minus a couple that are still in WWE. But basically everybody that's hot is going to AEW.
Is like that's the place to be. right now. I think it's certainly up there with one of the best rosters.
This kind of feels like when WWE started getting all the big WCW guys, but like on a way higher like factor. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Adam Cole and
like,
Ryan were a Razor and Scott Hall.
yeah, and then you know what I mean, and like Cole and like like Macho Man going over there, like it's just
how crazy is that too?
Yeah.
He wrestled Kyle O'Reilly last week, and
last week.
Yeah, there must not have been no.
Well, his contract expired. Like it expired, so they didn't wait. They didn't have a.
He didn't have a non-compete clause for his because he didn't get released.
That's why he could go the next day. Yeah.
Nice. So that's what I'm thinking might happen with Kevin Owens because if you followed them throughout their careers, they had this thing called Mount Rushmore. It was the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys.
The Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks.
Young Bucks.
Hardy's 2.0.
And Adam Cole and Kevin Owens in what they called Mount Rushmore. And allegedly there was a coordinates tweet today by Kevin Owens that got quickly deleted of the coordinates was Mount Rushmore. Yep. So let the rumors begin. So, all right, boys, that's it for All Out, man. Freaking amazing.
It was fantastic.
Golly, man, it's such a peak right now, man. I hope it's on. It just keeps going up, man.
I want to say that I did call every match correctly.
You called every match correctly. I believe we called.
That's true, AJ. We called them together, and we were both agreeable in all of those. I let you read the Champs coattails for one night.
Greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Congratulations, guys! You picked the match right.
we did. We did.
Can we move on? If you guys are done marking on yourselves now.
Yeah.
All right, Primo, let's get to, unfortunately, let's talk about it. Monday Night Raw and NXT, man.
Oh, we hadn't done this yet? Okay. All right. Don't worry. Like I said, they're not long. Monday Night Raw recap. We have Sheamus defeats Drew McIntyre to earn the number 1 contender spot to face Damian Priest for the United States Championship. Yeah. It was a good match, and Sheamus went over. So that was that. Next up, we had Shia. I just combined
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf was there.
He's a new signing. Like AEW gets.
AEW gets these awesome wrestlers,
and WWE gets Shia LaBeouf.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a Shia fan. He's a great actor, but I don't think he's defending the women's championship on Raw because that's Charlotte. Charlotte defended her women's championship against Nia, and then she retained. After that, Alexa comes out, and Charlotte accepts her challenge for the title.
Rematch compared to the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They got a talking to, it looks like.
A little different. Yeah.
Hey, you too.
They cleaned up that act a little bit.
Yep.
It's because of Shia LaBeouf. He's getting shit in order.
What? Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's right. You disappeared for 3 seconds.
I had to say Charlotte and Nia, and I said Shia. So now we have Shia LaBeouf on Raw.
Yep.
And the final point of Monday Night Raw, Lashley and MVP inserted the whole night. In fact, most of the night was tag team turmoil. They were trying to decide number 1 contender for the tag champions, which RK Bro holds for the opportunity to face them next Monday. And we had a whole slew of tag teams to include the New Day, their most important one, and AJ and Omos. New Day almost basically ran the gauntlet until they got to AJ and Almost, and then AJ and Almost went to the final. Lashley and MVP inserted themselves into tag team turmoil, ended up winning that. So now they will face RK Bro next Monday. It ended with Randy Orton RKOing Bobby Lashley because it was also announced he will be facing Bobby Lashley at the Extreme Rules for the WWE Championship.
Seems like an afterthought that, by the way, Randy Orton is feuding.
It actually started off the show with this, him saying, you know what, Bobby, last week you were talking about becoming a double champ. That kind of sounds good to me. It's been a while since the Vipers held the belt, so that's how that came along. And then that's whenever Bobby rebutted and said, all right, well, we're going to join the tag team turmoil match, and we're going to become double champ first,
Sure.
Yeah. The line of the night, though, was when MVP told Riddle, he said, the WWE Universe IQ goes down every time you talk.
I was talking.
That was a great line.
I was talking to my brother about Riddle, and he's still like, I hate him so much. He's everything wrong with everyone. I'm like, come on, Michael, you'll get there.
So that was Monday Night Raw. That was the night after All Out.
Yep.
I do have one question about Monday Night Raw. So during the whole little 24/7 nonsense.
Oh God, why? This isn't part of my 3 points, and we weren't going to talk about this.
But it's for you specifically.
I know what you're going to say.
Was that Jeff Hardy out
yes,
there?
It was. And actually, in fact, you know what? We will bring it up because he was put out there as one of the freaking goons chasing around the 24/7 champ. A former WWE and World Heavyweight champ is out there chasing around Reggie for the 24/7 championship. And what the flip are y'all doing, WWE? I mean, come on. He was trending. I don't know if y'all saw this, but Jeff Hardy was trending yesterday on Twitter because fans were outraged because of his recent booking.
His involvement in this. Yeah.
Like, he wasn't even involved. He was there to catch Reggie.
He was there. He took the bump.
Yeah.
With the other goons. I'm just like
I'm not even a Jeff Hardy maniac.
Like
I'm not
you're
the
just
biggest
disrespecting the man.
It really was. Like, what do they do? Jeff Hardy, he's a legend. Like, he absolutely is.
I was not happy.
He's probably oh, just throw me in there. I'll chase him. I don't care.
And I was like, whatever, can I?
He's like, hey, I'm kind of bored.
Yeah.
And, I mean, and also, I was also thinking too, so it's the night after All Out. I'm sitting here all day thinking, man, I hope WWE opens their freaking eyes and does something different. Karrion Kross still wore that stupid outfit.
Yes, he was still sex gimp. Like,
I don't get it. Like, I at this point, I feel bad for Karrion Kross.
I do too.
I don't. Yeah, because like I said in the beginning, you guys know that's not his choice. I mean, look at it. You know
no, he was handed it.
Right.
He was like, get this on you. Now go out there.
I get they're going gladiator mode. Trying to call him the gladiator.
I actually didn't mind his
demolition helmet and the little bit of a spikes, but the helmet, I could get past that, but the thing coming across his chest,
no, I can't either.
Well, I'm saying because
I get it. I get what you're saying.
To the ring, but the middle thing on his chest, throughout the mask, it's so annoying.
The cross suspenders thing.
Let's go to NXT.
I will say though, I did enjoy his interview on the Moist Musty talk show.
I did not.
Where he was like, "Yeah, I'll do all that after I kill you."
Okay, that's a pretty good line.
So NXT, we had
good show here.
Indy Hartwell. I only got 3 points. Indy Hartwell and Dexter had their bachelorette parties before their wedding next week, and Johnny and Dexter buried the hatchet and became best buds. And I actually wrote this down too. I bet because the wedding is next week, and it's also next week is the first night of the revitalized. Or not the new version. I don't know what they're going to call it. It's NXT, but it's the new version.
It's going to be like a stadium. It's going to be like a stadium set.
Yeah, it did kind of look like that.
Yeah. It's going to be like a bull ring type thing.
Right. Is it a whole new building?
Standings. No, I think they're just going to. They're just.
Why don't they start traveling again?
Going over there. I don't know.
Is El Matador coming back?
Smart because it's probably everything's going to get shut down again.
Yeah. Anyway, what I was saying was, so the wedding is next week. Weddings get crashed, and Dexter has finally won over Johnny, but I bet it gets crashed by Austin Theory. We hadn't seen him in a while.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good call.
That would be. Yeah. I actually forgot that he was still on the roster.
Last time we saw him, he was walking away from the way.
That's right. Dexter Lumis, he actually cracked a little smile here, didn't he? When they put their hands together.
Yeah. I didn't see it, did he?
Yeah, he had a little side smile. Yeah. So
he grabbed Johnny's arm. He was like, he taught him how to throw an axe.
They were playing laser tag.
They're being best bros. Yeah, he kept choking the people out. Johnny would come around the corner. Gotcha. Oh, man. So next up, we had Zoe Stark and Io Shirai defending. This is the first of 2 tag team championship matches on the night. Zoe Stark and Io Shirai, the women's tag champions, defeat Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro to retain their titles. Afterwards, Caden and Casey get jumped by Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, and Sheamus. I mean, Mandy Rose.
Yeah, she got the nose guard on now.
Yeah.
She does.
Did she get her nose busted?
She did last week.
Yeah,
Saray,
she
no,
did.
I talked about it last week. Saray hit her in the face.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So, might be a gimmick.
Don't you listen to our show?
Yeah, don't you?
I did, man. I've been all over the country the last week. And I've watched 6 hours of wrestling.
Straight from the buffet, it's Charlotte, North Carolina.
Is that what I look like going across the nation?
Yeah, that was you.
Yeah,
It's just you like walking over like a green screen,
Chicago.
of, like a U.S. map.
Yeah.
Charlotte. Back to Illinois.
And
Yes, this is what you look like.
in the main event of NXT on Tuesday night, my boys, MSK,
Yeah.
defeated Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch to retain the NXT tag titles. Like I tweeted out today, put some respect on their names. Them boys for sure have it, and stop calling them underdogs because they done beat everybody in the tag team division.
No, why are they still calling them underdogs? Like they're so good.
They beat them all. Now at this point, they really have beat them all because they just beat the last people. Afterwards, due to their failures, they have dishonored them. Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland turns on Burch and Lorcan and destroys them. Yeah, destroys them. Of course, we get the
Yeah,
from
Pete,
Pete Dunne. He's like, I guess that's what we're doing now.
Yep. And then we're going to attack him.
Mess them up.
Yeah, it's a pretty good
Ice
show,
'em.
though. It was a pretty good show.
Yeah, so that's NXT. It was a good show. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. The bachelor party was really fun. We're
It
going.
was.
that was.
I
I
love
enjoyed
when
that.
Cameron got in the limo. I'm gonna take this bachelor party to the
moon.
That was great. All right,
What
let's
was
get
up with
into
that ref's face?
It's just
the
his face.
zombie. He was a zombie ref.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, it was a zombie ref.
That's the one part I was like, what in the world? Where'd that come from?
Yeah,
They
I
can't
guess I
all
missed
be
that.
as they can't all be as handsome as us three there, Primo. Like it's just not possible.
Let's get
Why
to tonight's
That's fair.
Dropkick Discussion today, sponsored by Coastland Apparel.
Yes.
Use promo code BIRDTV for 15% off your order at coastlandapparel.com.
Oh, no.
Today we're going to be talking about our top 5 most hated wrestlers. Now, when we say most hated, we mean gimmick, outside the ring, a combination of both. Any reason that a wrestler made us hate them. This could be our top 5 now. This could be our top 5 of all time. Either way, we all compiled a top 5 list here. All right, boys, who wants to go first? How about me?
Okay. Sounds good. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Let me get this one out of the way. I want to say that there's a reason why this guy is at my number 5. You guys will probably not know who this guy is, but okay. So when I was a young little Mark, right, watching NWA wrestling, my favorite wrestler was Jimmy, the Boogie Woogie Man Valiant. Okay, now he had these long flowing locks. He was a baby face, and he would come to the ring.
I
he'd
do
be
know who it
dancing,
is.
jiving, man, back and forth, man, just having a good time. He had this he always had these little braids in it, right? Okay, so he had this big feud with this guy called Pistol Pez Watley.
What a great
Pez
name.
Watley. Go Google this guy. Pistol Pez
Pez.
Watley. He was in the stable of Paul Jones. Okay, now let me tell you why 11-year-old me always hated this guy, because they had a match, right? And Pistol Pez Watley cut the Boogie Woogie Man's braids out
What
of
a
his
name.
hair. I was so pissed. I'm not really happy about it.
What a great reason to hate him.
Yeah, and I
That's
always
fantastic.
remember I never did
He wore a
like
tuxedo jacket.
Pistol Pez Watley. He wore a tuxedo jacket. He had a top hat.
Yeah,
He had
and a bow tie.
A little strut to the ring. Yeah, he was Baron Von Roski. He was his tag team partner back in the day. This was the 80s, everyone. I was 8-9 years old, but Pistol Pez cut my boy Boogie Woogie's hair, and I hated him ever since for it.
That's
That's great.
fantastic.
That's
That is
great.
fantastic.
Number 5, Pistol Pez Watley, NWA, back in the 80s. Primo, let's go.
My number 5 comes because I had already heard throughout my time as a wrestling fan that these dudes were basically assholes. And here recently, a good buddy of mine actually gave me this book right here. It is Cheating, Death, Stealing Life, the Eddie Guerrero story. And in the book, they talk about this tag team, which is my number 5, the Nasty Boys. And because of they're shitheads, man. They go a little too far with the ribs with some of the wrestlers when they're younger in their careers, and it's just I don't care for bullies. And
well, they were best buddies with Hulk Hogan.
And also, I just always thought they were gross anyway. Like that's their whole thing, right? They were Nasty Boys, and I remember, one of my favorite matches, I've talked about it before, was Harlem Heat versus Nasty Boys. And that from the time I saw him in that match, getting mustard thrown all over him and all that nasty crap, and I was like, those guys, I don't like them. Yeah. And then reading this book as real life people, they're just they're dicks. So they're my number 5.
So good one.
That is like that. They were actually on my list of maybe because I also despise the Nasty Boys. Like their whole thing was like, look at us go, we're nasty. It's like, and they were both garbage in the ring. They looked like crap. I hated them, but not as much as my number 5, Vince Russo. I'm going to include him as a wrestler because he held the goddamn WCW title.
Sure.
He ruined, along with Hulk Hogan, he wrecked WCW. His stupid goddamn booking. I'm going to put myself over and get out in front of the camera and put myself in every single match. Oh, and when I'm not in a match, I'm going to book stupid fucking, it's a garbage can on a pole match. Only if you get the garbage can, there's a contract inside, but then you have to fight for the contract, which is also on a pole. I hate Vince Russo.
A lot of people feel like he made a mockery of wrestling out of the power that he had to do it with, and
the problem...
Easy to hate him.
The problem with it is that he was so arrogant about it too. Like because he thought he was like a wrestling genius. Like he thought his mind for the business was brilliant, and he just came up with stupid idea after stupid idea. And then finally in WCW, he invented the Millionaires Club versus the New Blood, and Jeff Jarrett was in the New Blood, even though Jeff Jarrett was like 45. It was so stupid. I hate Vince Russo. I hate him so much. I don't know how he is in real life though, but he might be a fine guy, but from just the way he booked and the way he wrote and the way he wrote himself into storylines, I imagine that his character is him.
I mean,
so go fuck yourself.
I've seen all the videos of Vince Russo talking, Cornette talking, and Bruce Pritchard talking, and it's hard to tell what's what.
Hate him. Hate his guts. That's my number 5.
I mean, everything you said is true.
Yeah.
No.
A lot of people, would agree with AJ on that.
Oh, for sure.
He was big in the 90s, had a lot to do with the Attitude Era. And then a lot of people, like when he went WCW, just it was just a mess, but, a lot of people blame him for the downfall. So, all right, going there at number 5. I'm going to move at number 4. Okay. This is not one person. This is actually a tag team, but I hated them because I was a huge Road Warrior fan growing up, and I thought these guys were a total ripoff of my boys of Demolition.
No.
Yeah, I've always hated Demolition. Let me tell you, though, I hate them because, I felt like the Road Warriors were that gimmick and nobody could touch it. And, this goes back to my young days of fandom, too. And I just felt like, like they were totally ripping them off, up in the WWF. So, I always hated them just for that. Now, I've since then let it go. I looked at it more of the Legends aspect. I actually have a Demolitions T-shirt now, but I've always hated them for trying to rip off my boys, the Road Warriors. So that was my number 4.
Wait, which iteration? Axe and Smash?
Axe and Smash, yeah.
Because they did the axe handle smash a lot, right? Yeah. Get it? Axe and Smash. I didn't like Demolition when it was Demolition Crush in there because I hated Crush all throughout childhood and everything.
Yep, Axe and Smash. Yeah, was the main two, but any iteration of them probably pissing me off because I'm like, y'all are ripping off my boys down here. I mean, it happened a lot. It was Rock and Roll Express, Rockers. You know what I mean? Like, there was comparisons all the way down the roll there. Primo, number 4.
Number 4 for me is the entire Spirit Squad. Minus what later became Dolph Ziggler. I actually like Dolph Ziggler. But during that time, I could not stand the Spirit Squad. I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. I loved watching them get smashed by DX. And there was a time frame where they were Vince's henchmen, and that was just it was just the whole thing. Mickey, Kenny.
I told y'all that I was at the pay-per-view in Charlotte where they debuted.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who they were. My not wife then, but girlfriend Lynn at the time. We were there, and she looks at me and she goes, "Oh, well, who are these guys?" And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm annoyed.
I don't know why there's 5 of them.
Mickey. Yes. And we are the Spirit Squad.
Oh, who thought
I hated them?
They did good job being annoying.
They sure did.
Yes,
they sure did. And teenage me hated them.
Yes.
That's my number 4.
Get these dude cheerleaders off my wrestling, man.
I don't like how peppy they are.
Enough stereotypes anyway.
Tone it down, Spirit Squad. I don't like your pep.
What you got, AJ, for number 4?
So, number 4, I actually feel bad about because there is no reason for me to hate this wrestler, none whatsoever. But I do. I can't stand him. Right. Tatanka. I hate Tatanka so.
That's so random.
I know. I hate him so much.
That's why we have these lists, man.
Oh my god! I remember randomness. All he ever did was he chopped. I'm Tatanka. I chop, top rope, chop.
Yep.
And his Hulk up.
You would do the skip around.
There's his Hulk up, and I hated it. And he went on an undefeated streak for like 18 months in WW F back then.
Oh yeah.
And it was, I hated his look. I hated his little. I can't do it obviously because that's horrible.
Right.
But I hated his chops. Everything about him, performance wise, and I feel bad because in real life he was a lovely human being. I looked up and stuff. He was awesome. He was oh, poor Tatanka.
Right.
I can't stand him.
A name I didn't think I would hear today.
Chop.
Yep.
I chop.
All right, let's get to our top 3 now. Before you guys lose your mind about my third, there's a reason why. Okay. All right. The reason why I hate this guy because I feel like he owes me money. Okay. All right, boys. Let's go back to 1997. Okay. WCW Fall Brawl was it was either in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, or Greensboro. One of the two. Okay, either way. I had tickets, really good Nitro tickets for the Monday after the pay-per-view in Charlotte. Ric Flair was my man, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I paid for the tickets, all right? Well, the night before, Ric Flair at Fall Brawl wrestled Curt Hennig.
What?
Curt Hennig turned on Flair that night.
Yeah.
The cage match. He slammed Flair's head in the cage. So when Nitro comes on, I'm like, oh, God. I watched Fall Brawl the night before. I'm like, oh, no. They're like, oh, yeah, we don't know the status of Ric Flair. I'm like, what? He's not going to be at Nitro? I'm like, pissed, right? Pissed, dude. 97, it's 20 couple. So I'm like super fandom. Flair was God. You know what I mean? Still is. But
woo!
Kind of throw that in there.
Yeah. So I'm at the old Independence Arena, the old Coliseum. It's called Bojangles, whatever now. But I spent some hard-earned money, man, to buy some great tickets to Nitro. Me and 2 other buddies went. So the pyro comes on to start the show, right? Right? And then so they start running the prepackaged stuff, and they're showing Hennig slamming Flair's head in that cage. Now, they were showing it over and over and over, and people were booing. We're in the hometown of Rick, right? we're supposed to see Rick in Charlotte, right? Like right after a pay-per-view, this is going to be big. But yeah, Hennig had turned on him the night before. Flair wasn't able to wrestle Monday Nitro. I'm still pissed. Kurt, you owe me $55 now for my seat back then, which was a lot of money and gas. But no, I've always got mad at Kurt about that because storyline, yes, but I'm obviously it's not hatred, but storyline hatred. Like I had the best seats ever to see Rick. I actually ended up seeing him, really personal later, but yeah, I was pissed, man, legit.
So it doesn't matter how awesome Kurt Hennig actually is. You're like, nope, I'm done with you forever.
He turned at Fall Brawl, and I wasn't able to see Rick at Nitro. 1997. It was actually in September, I think. Actually, today. So that's my number 3. Primo.
That's
what's yours?
Yeah. My number 3. I don't so much hate the person because he's not really like this, but the gimmick that he was given, I hated the gimmick. I really did, and that was Eugene.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the whole making. They just looked like they were making fun of mental health, and
sure
they were.
And I just didn't. That's
Couldn't
not
do that
cool,
gimmick
man.
now. Yeah,
I'd say that's not cool at all.
We know who else hated that was Kurt Angle.
Oh,
remember
really?
that when he came out and just beat the shit out of Eugene. Yeah.
Well, and that's another thing too. Nick Dinsmore did kind of carry the gimmick on. So I think
he did.
It is kind of a scummy thing. The whole gimmick is scummy. It's not something to laugh about. I never liked that. But yeah, so my number 3 is Eugene.
He was actually on one of my maybes too. But then I replaced him with another one that seems so innocuous, but I've always hated him, Honky Tonk Man. I hate
him. Yeah.
First
hated him, yeah.
First of all, in his stupid jumpsuit, he looks like a tube worm.
Man.
I hated his promos. I hated his stupid sideburns, his stupid curly Q. He couldn't sing. He was a terrible wrestler.
Oh, he's bad, AJ.
I'm just a honky tonk man.
I'm cocky. I'm cool. I'm bad. Yeah,
and do you guys ever remember when he would try and sing it live, but he couldn't play the guitar and he couldn't actually sing? And then he would actually mix up the Elvis gimmicks too, because he would dress like 70s Elvis, but he would come out with like Peggy Sue, and which is 50s Elvis. You goddamn idiot! What are you doing? Nothing made me happier as a kid than when Ultimate Warrior came out and squashed the shit out of him to win the IC title from him.
Yeah, the match was shorter than his entrance. Was he the one that hit Jake Roberts with the non-gimmick?
I was going to bring that up. Yep. Jake Roberts still has real life heat with him over that.
Yep. Well, and he's a terrible person in real. Like he thinks because he was the honky tonk man. Like I remember. My brother used to work for like a game shop here in town. They have board games, all that stuff. And the Honky Tonk Man was supposed to make an appearance at the shop, but he was such a prick and he backed out of it for some reason because I guess there was going to be someone else as a guest as well. And he's like, "No, I'm the Honky Tonk Man." All this is allegedly, by the way, because I don't know the full story.
Right.
But this
was like a Sid Vicious story. Every Sid Vicious story.
Yeah.
I had to play softball.
I'm just a honky tonk man.
It's a honky tonk man.
Awful.
Yeah, good one there. All right, so let's get to our top 2. So let me talk about top 2 here. My number 1, I really hate gimmick and outside of life, but my number 2 is basically just gimmick because everybody that knows me knows I'm a Charlotte guy. Okay, I've never gotten it about Becky Lynch. People get it about her. I've now this is wrestling. Okay, outside of the ring, I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean? But inside the ring, I've just never been a Becky fan. I've always thought she's plain. She can wrestle her tail off. I give her that. But as far as gimmick wise, just this, kind of, I'm a badass. At least Charlotte pulls the queen gimmick a little bit, I don't know. I've just never really liked Becky Lynch. I understand she's good for wrestling, but personally, I think she's bland, unless it's, I would almost turn the TV sometimes. But,
wow. See, I knew you didn't like Becky, but I didn't know you disliked her that much.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I just haven't seen it like other people have, and that's okay. You know, everybody's got their favorites and all.
Yeah.
But
And sometimes people's opinions are wrong.
True.
Like yours
she's
right now.
Over. She's over, and she's gotten herself over. The whole man gimmick, has clicked and worked, but I don't get it. That's me.
You are incorrect with your opinion. Becky Lynch is amazing. I'll hear no nothing of the sort.
My number 2. I never really liked him, and it just seemed like a dick both on screen and off. There are only 2 times that I ever liked him. One was when he returned from his neck injury and actually went to war with Brock Lesnar, and then the other time is anytime he did the Alabama Slam, and that's Hardcore Holly.
Yes, he is a dick in real life.
Didn't like Sparky Plug either. His alter
Sparky Plug.
That was awful. He was like a race car driver or something.
Ted Trier just said. Primo
I was about to say something very inappropriate.
He had checker flag on his tights, man. I'm like, oh, God.
Sparky Plug. God, he's the one who beat the crap out of what's his name from Tough Enough, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore Holly. Where kept kicking him in the face.
I don't know if there's any truth to this, but I read today that he would shoot punches at people on purpose in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
What a douche.
There's tons of stories like that about him.
Yeah.
He was one of the badasses there too, for sure. I could definitely see that. I actually seen him wrestle in LaSalle. He wrestled. He was kind of on the indie scene for a little while, but
did you boo him?
You
should have.
I don't think I did. I probably should have. You got number 2, AJ?
Number 2. So in both of his WWE and WCW iterations, Jeff Jarrett. J-E-F-F-J-E-R-R-E-T. Shut the fuck. Oh my God. And he does that stupid, here, I have 2 fingers. And he had the collar get up with the straps. It's very Karrion Krossy. And his stupid poodle blonde mullet. Oh, so that was bad enough. And then he went to WCW, and I don't understand why he was always either held the belt or was around the belt. He had that stupid guitar that had the farty pyro that came out of the top of it.
Yeah.
He called everyone slapnuts. I didn't get it. I never understood any of his appeal ever. He would hit people with guitars, and after they farted out some sparks. And his whole
wait to be home with my
I hate in the WWE. I hated him enough just because I thought his stupid dance and his stupid gimmick was stupid. That's how many times I can say stupid in one sentence.
Stupid.
It's so stupid. And then in slap nuts. It's
I like
so. Yeah.
So, yep.
And his guitar.
All right, so we're up to all of our number 1s. Do you guys have any honorable mentions, real quick?
Oh boy, yes.
Yeah. Just rack them off real quick.
Alberto Del Rio. Again, Brutus Beefcake. Don't know why. Always hated him. We talked about this one actually. Hulk Hogan could be on the list, but
there's reasons for him that he can make it. Yep.
And I also had Val Venus, but then I decided I don't actually hate Val Venus. I like hating Val Venus as a wrestler, so he doesn't count.
Primo, did you?
No, this was actually a hard list for me to come up with. I don't dislike a whole lot of wrestlers.
Ooh, I'm about to get some heat, I think. All right, let me toss out some real quick. All right, so Marco Stunt.
Yep.
I hate Cena because he's so damn perfect.
I love Cena.
Paul Jones, y'all don't know who he is, but he was Pistol Pez Watley's manager. Hated him too.
You've been carrying a lifelong.
This is Gretsch. Yeah. These guys that aren't even around anymore, they're just well, fuck me.
He cut Mr. Bojangles' hair or whatever,
Boogie
Woogie Man.
He cut his hair.
A couple here at the end, I want to talk about just because he's talking about him lately. I didn't like Mark Henry either. So we talked about him. But here's one I think we can all agree on: the Great Khali.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, actually, he should have made my list.
Yeah.
All right, boys, let's get to number 1. I've never liked this guy. When they first signed him, I'm like, oh, he's got a great look. I kind of knew a little bit about him already. I hated every kind of success that he had in wrestling. He's a piece of crap. It's very well known. He's a piece of crap outside the ring. My most hated guy is Alberto Del Rio, man. I never have. Not everything that's happened outside the ring. Every time he returned, I turned the channel, man.
I hated everything about Alberto Del Rio too.
I just felt like he didn't deserve anything. He had potential, man, but I just think he's a dirtbag. I just didn't think he was a good person, right? Yeah.
He also had the worst, most contrived finisher in the history of finishers, where he would make the people hold on to stop. I know. Loved it. You are incorrect, sir.
Right there it is. It wasn't a gimmick. There it is. All right, Primo, number 1.
So my number 1, you never thought a Texan would be on my list as number 1. But we'll go to 5-1 real quick. Nasty Boys, the entire Spirit Squad, Eugene, Hardcore Holly, and my number 1. It's a well known that he is a locker room bully, and real life bully to a lot of younger people. If you ever read Justin Roberts' book, he bullied him too. But JBL.
Yeah, JBL.
And now I did like as far as his gimmicks go, like as far as the person, maybe the actual person may not be so bad, but as a co-worker in the wrestling business, he was a shithead.
Sure.
Also, his gimmick as Bradshaw, with the APA, I did like that. I did like that on the Acolyte Protection Agency, but I did not like the JBL gimmick so much.
The rich Texan.
Yeah, was annoying and chasing around immigrants at the border.
Yeah.
Remember One Night Stand where he legit beat the shit out of the Blue Meanie?
Yep. And he just had him on their pod, actually, recently. I think they just buried the hatchet on that.
Well, good for them, nice. But still.
But yeah, that's my number 1, JBL.
AJ, who you got number 1 here?
So, real quick, number 5, Vince Russo. Number 4, Tatanka. Sure. Number 3, Honky Tonk Man. Number 2, Jeff Jarrett.
Number 1.
Who
is it? Your most hated?
The Smoking Guns, Rockabilly, New Age Outlaws, Mr. Ass, Cute Kip, Kip Gunn, Kip James, One Billy Gunn, the Shoguns, Billy and Chuck,
yeah, that's a good one.
Voodoo Kid Mafia, Billy Goddamn Gunn. I hate every single thing about him. I hate his performance. I hate all those gimmicks and bullshit I just named. Not a single one of them was good. Voodoo Kid Mafia, I think my brother was talking about this last week. They were misogynistic baby faces. Like their whole entire thing was like slut shaming Christy Hemme. Like that was their whole face gimmick was. Yeah. And then when they were, Kip James and whoever Road Dogg was and
E.G. James.
Impact. Yes, thank you. And they kept trying to like bait HBK and Triple H into like a shoot fight because they would call them by their actual names. It's like you
Michael Hickenbottom. Yeah.
Paul Levesque.
No shocker there.
We'll meet you at the Alamo. Like go get fucked. Like, oh my God.
I'm gonna get you a nice little cameo from Billy.
I sure am. One of these days, I am totally gonna get Billy Gunn to cameo you.
Present from me to you.
Yeah.
Mr.
It is going to be the best episode ever.
Mr. Ass, that was a gimmick. Cute Kip James. How are these the Shoguns?
That's the Dropkick Discussion.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done going on about. But you were not cut me off of my Billy Gunn rant.
All right.
I hate him so much. Wait, I know I'm missing some. Hold on.
I'm gonna give you another minute.
Another minute? Oh, okay. I can go on. Okay. I forgot Kip Montana, Kip Sop, Kip Winchester. How many times have you named Kip? The G-Man? Are you kidding me? The G-Man. The Outlaw. Just go away. Go away right now. I hate him so much. And he was not good at any of them. And I get that he was in like DX. And then after DX stopped being relevant, he's like, oh, I'm going to keep doing this because I've never done anything relevant in my entire life on my own.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
You got 30 seconds, AJ.
You are 50 years old and you're still crotch chopping. And I bet he would still I bet if he goes to indie shows, he's like, "Hey guys, remember when I did this?" Like he's one of those sad bastards that would sit by himself at his own merch table.
I might take it back.
15 seconds, get it in.
And he would come up and people get pictures with him for free, and then he'd be like, "Oh, by the way, that's $10. Billy Gunn, suck it." I hate him so much. Okay, I'm done. I can't breathe.
2 words for you.
All right. That is the Dropkick discussion of the week.
Fuck you, Billy Gunn.
Guys, tune in next Wednesday. We're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite and most ridiculous gimmicks. So that should be a fun one. So let's keep it rolling here towards the show. Next up, Squared Circle Questions. AJ is the champion. I'm taking on AJ today. Primo's going to be the reader of the questions. What it is we have 3 categories: wrestler, pay-per-view, and wrestling potpourri. As we ask that anybody in the chat not participate during this game, so there's no help during the game here today.
Who was in the chat last week?
That kept the answer in?
Yeah.
It was Jet Dryer, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Jet Dryer.
It was him. I don't know who it was, but but 3 categories, 3 different questions. AJ, you're the champ, man. Pick a category.
We're going to start with the most difficult one first, and that is pay-per-view.
All right. Once first answer out of your mouth is your answer, by the way. Here we go.
Yeah, and they were clearly Googling last week, by the way.
Yeah, they were.
Anyway, they were answering my things way too fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this pay-per-view emanates from Dallas, Texas. The opener match was Tajiri defeating Jamie Noble to retain their Cruiserweight Championship. We had Team Angle versus Team Lesnar. Molly Holly defeats Lita to retain the Women's Championship. Kane defeats Shane McMahon in an ambulance match. The Basham Brothers defeat Los Guerreros for the tag titles. SmackDown tag titles. Team Bischoff defeats Team Austin.
Survivor Series 98.
Mr. McMahon defeats The Undertaker in a Buried Alive match. And Goldberg defeats Triple H to retain the World Heavyweight Championship.
Survivor Series 03.
Bingo.
God damn it. I should have waited for the stupid Goldberg match.
You answered wrong. I was taking all the
Yeah, there was a couple hints there. Basham Brothers, they were early 2000s.
Yeah.
Team Lesnar.
Team Lesnar. Yeah, after I said 98, I was like, well, nope, that's not right.
Yeah. All right.
By the way, my team potpourri was going to be, this isn't it, but it was going to be to name all 5 members of Team Lesnar because it was the biggest team ever assembled.
Like weight-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. It wasn't my potpourri, but in case you're wondering, it was Matt Morgan, Nathan Jones, Big Show, Lesnar, and A-Train.
I could have named 2 of those probably.
A-Train. All right,
A-Train.
Let's do wrestler.
Wrestler. All right. He was born May 11th, 1974 in New Haven, Connecticut. He's billed out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Trained by Afa of the Anoa'i family, debuted September 11th, 1994. His real name is Peter Bruner. He was once legitimately injured by Shane Douglas. Once legitimately injured after Shane Douglas hung him with a strap during their strap match. He was a member of Raven's Flock, the Filthy Animals, and the New Blood.
Billy Kidman.
Bingo.
Nice.
Woo!
He was married to Tori Wilson, a 7-time Cruiserweight champ, and he made the Shooting Star Press popular.
Yeah. Awesome.
He did it wonderfully, too.
Nice.
He had a very pretty Shooting Star Press.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, one of the best ever. All right, tiebreaker. Who's going to win here?
This is going to be quick.
All right.
Because it's kind of easy.
Good.
Just shout it out. Whoever shouts it out first. Wrestling Potpourri. Who was the original 4th member of Evolution before Batista?
Oh, God. He was just on. Why am I trying to blank on his name?
He was the original 4th member of Evolution in the enforcer role instead of Batista.
I just saw this literally like yesterday.
No idea.
The I can't think Chris Canyon. That's not it, but
that's wrong. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I say don't say. I'm gonna at least throw out a guess. Originally, fourth member of not Batista.
It was originally the enforcer role. Instead of Batista, yeah.
Yeah.
At the time, Batista was doing the Rev thing with Devon.
No clue. I don't even have a guess.
It was Randy Orton's good friend, Mark Jindrak.
Yes. God.
Oh, yeah. See, like I remember him, know who he is, but barely.
And the reason they didn't go with him was because he was with Garrison Cade and Jindrak.
I remember the tag team.
Yeah, and he was a good talent. But right. him and Randy were good buddies, but Triple H didn't want him to be in the group because he was immature and they felt he was holding Randy back.
I seriously just watched something about that like 2 days ago about how Evolution dropped him pretty quickly after he debuted with them.
So it's a tie, 1-1.
Well, AJ still champ, retained. So
we'll get that back champions advantage
in about 2 weeks. Yep. So champions advantage. Congratulations, AJ. Another square questions under your belt here. All right. Today we got Promo School is a quick little 1 minute promo. Kurt Hennig from 1991. The promo is called "He's Good and He Knows It."
With your third most hated wrestler.
Yep. For slamming Ric Flair's head in the cage. This was still in WWF time. He was the Intercontinental Champ at the time, and he also had Coach with him. So funny here. Check it out.
Coaches in the United States wish they'd have a specimen like you on their team. How many coaches out there do you think would love to have you on their side?
You know, Coach, you know what my problem is, if there's any? That problem would be that I'm good and I know it. And you know, you talk about all the other competition in the World Wrestling Federation. This belt is what makes me different. Intercontinental Champion. You want to talk about intensity levels? You want to talk about men that go out of their minds? You want to talk about men that have power and have strength and have speed and have brains and have been coached? And you can only be talking about one man. That's Mr. Perfect.
Like I love Mr. Perfect, but one of my when I go back and watch like old Mr. Perfect promos or anything, I like looking for mistakes that he makes because he's supposed to be Mr. Perfect.
Yeah,
like this is how nerdy I am because I'll be like, you messed up that.
You messed up, not so perfect.
And like all of them are mostly, all of them are like mostly the same too. They always end up with because
I'm absolutely perfect.
But that was awesome, man. When he had Coach with him, he was good heel tactic stuff. So
it doesn't make him different. Like there had been like 7 other Intercontinental Champions before him. Like you're in a group of 7 at the very least.
So let's get towards the end of the show here, boys. We briefly talked about it early. Wrestling is going to another level right now. All Out is the pay-per-view of the year so far, possibly 5 to 10. Man, it is awesome. AEW is white hot right now, and it is great.
I think it might have been, not to make a pun about Moxley's finishing move, but I think it might be a paradigm shift going on in the whole landscape right now. Like that was a huge week for AEW. Like that kind of cemented them as actual, like, this is what we're doing and this is where we're going forward. Here's how we do it.
Now. Yeah. I like I said earlier, I came out of All Out saying I'm so excited once again to watch wrestling. Like I am on a weekly basis. I am so excited to tune into AEW.
Yep.
And I just hope, being a WWE lifelong fan, that at some point they can catch up, because I feel like they're on life support right now.
Or well, all it is going to take is for Vince to finally be like, oh shit, I should probably actually take them seriously and start doing something different with their product, which is just nosediving at the moment.
Right. Nosedive into take the airplane.
Turn the WWE into a nosedive, Vince McMahon.
But on the real note, like, it is exciting to be a wrestling fan right now. Yeah. And you think of the AEW roster, you think of the people that we just talked about that return. all of these people, all of the AEW roster can wrestle anywhere.
Yep,
Sure.
they can go. They're not exclusive to AEW.
Like the whole, like there's WWE and the rest of the wrestling world.
Right.
That isolation is becoming more and more apparent.
Right.
Like it was awesome to me because I can't remember the last time a pay-per-view went off and I'm just sitting there, mouth open, excited, wishing it hadn't gone off, like totally pumped about what's coming up. Like that feeling is so good.
I mean, Primo had enough of this conversation. That's how much he loved what happened. But like, I mean, think if you just put like say the roster out loud: Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. Like that right there
Moro
is
Suzuki.
Yes, like it's just disgusting.
Oh, it's insane. Their women's division is phenomenal. Like, man, it is going on another level right now, man.
I would say
it's great.
I was more excited for Adam Cole because it was the unexpected one for me. Like, I knew he was coming, but I didn't know he was coming Sunday night. Or at least it was the one that was a surprise in that moment. So it was the one that made me go, oh, you know?
And it happened so quick. He was just with WWE not long ago.
Yeah. Like last week.
Like he just had the 2 out of 3 falls match with Kyle O'Reilly last week.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it really was.
I popped bigger from Bryan Danielson, by the way.
I mean, yeah, I was happy to see him too, but I knew he was coming.
I love the way they did it. You know?
Yep. I love that Adam Cole came in as a heel. Like they teased him as a face to begin with, and then immediately they're like, okay, we're not even going to.
How do you feel about their remix version of Flight of the Valkyries?
It's kind of like take it or leave it.
Hip hoppy ish.
Yeah, which I hope it doesn't stay that way.
It might grow on us. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope so. But right
kind of
now,
how Roman Reigns' new music grew on me. I mean, this might grow on us.
Right. See, I love Roman Reigns' new music from the beginning.
Yeah,
I did. I was immediately on board with that.
All right, moving on here, boys. This past Saturday, man, I had a really awesome weekend. If you've been listening to the pod, you've heard me talk about since the Ultimate Fighter show started in the UFC. They brought the UFC back. I've been talking about this guy who has been the coach of my son, or my best friend's son's, been his MMA coach for the last 3+ years. Brian Battle, he just won the middleweight title for Team Volkanovski on the Ultimate Fighter. So I was able to go down this weekend to the gym and check out Brian teaching my buddy's son. Got to meet Brian. He's really cool. He hooked me up with this Hyaston MMA Charlotte shirt here. He's and he was really cool, man. I asked him for a picture. He said, "Hey, man, let's do it right." And he went and got the Ultimate Fighter trophy. I got to hold the trophy. I posted it on my social media. Really cool dude, man. He is going to be fighting before the end of the year, sounds like. And it was just really fun experience. I want to give a big shout out to Hyaston MMA out there in Charlotte, North Carolina, man. Go stop by there, check them out. It's actually in Matthews. Brian put out on there, anybody that stops by, he'll take a picture with you with the trophy. Super cool dude, man. It was really awesome to get to hang out and talk to him for a while, and hopefully maybe sometime in the future, man, we get him on the pod here. So go check him out, Brian Pooh Bear Battle in the UFC. So just signed his contract, so watch out, and thanks again, man. So all right, boys, let's get to closing the show. I want to thank our sponsors, Coastland Apparel. Use promo code BirdTV for 15% off your order. Primo, tell me, where can you get the Sit Down Marks podcast?
So obviously you can get our podcast on Twitch if you're watching right now. However, if you want to listen to us, because you don't want to stare at us, you can listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Apple Prime Music, Audible, and also on SportzWire Online Radio after the
#1
Sports Report by Thomas Bryce. We go on at 6:45 on Fridays.
Run that line one more time. Where can they get that Marks merch at? The Sit Down Marks merch, Primo.
Sit Down Marks merch. Get yourself a shirt, a hat, a mask, whatever you want, baby clothes. We got them all. tpublic.com/users/sit-down-marks. Spelled the same as the show. You should get it by now. Go ahead, go to the website, buy yourself something. Thank you in advance.
We have baby clothes?
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
All right, a couple more notes here, guys. Let's talk about our favorite things in wrestling right now outside of AEW. Like anything you like outside of AEW. Couple notes. For me, RK Bro, I think y'all probably would agree with that.
Yep. I'm also going to say the tease of Demon Finn coming back again. I would really, really like to see Demon Finn take on Roman Reigns and win, obviously, but I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, I'm excited to see if they decide to do it. I'm excited to see that entrance again and the wacky stuff he's so creative when he's allowed to be. So I'm excited about that.
A lot of times that's all these wrestlers want. It's just a little freedom. So hopefully we'll give it to him. Primo, what do you got?
I will say I am excited to see where they're going with the Lesnar and Roman and Paul thing. I want to see Paul Heyman squirm, trying to pick a side, And then I am also kind of intrigued with the NXT change.
Yeah, I'm nothing I'm excited about too is the indies are getting hot, man. A lot of these guys are wrestling down on the indies, man. So I'm excited about that too. All right, so Matt Cardona lost the GCW title already to none other than Johnny Moxley, the new GCW champion. Did y'all see that?
Yes, sir. That spinner belt didn't last long, did it?
It definitely didn't, man. He was hot, and now he lost it already. Man, tough time there for our boy.
Now we're heading towards a Moxley Nick Gage match.
Yep.
How awesome would that be, though?
It is. It's happening October the 9th in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
That is going to be disgusting.
That is
going to be a disgusting
That's
match.
like 2 hours away from me.
Primo. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Pizza cutters galore.
That'd be a terrifying show.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to see that live.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Also, it would be wild to see live. Like,
might make me a bit queasy,
but I'd want to see it. So, also, different.
What else we
we got a lot going on, but
it doesn't even matter anymore. Like,
they had the Charlotte and Nia rematch this week. Then
they ended up not beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah, they ended up actually
for once.
Yeah, they were behaving in the ring. So I don't know why they didn't behave last week, but this week they decided to behave.
I mean, and then you have Jeff Hardy chasing after the 24/7 title. We cannot forget that, because that's a thing that is happening currently.
It is a black eye in the wrestling industry right now.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we finally found out that Jeff did wake up.
He did wake up. He woke up under the lower card.
Yes.
He did.
He woke up and he's like, "Oh God, how long have I been?"
He's like, "Oh no, I'm in kickoff territory now."
Yeah.
Not even kickoff. He wasn't even in the ring.
Next week we got 2 pods coming at you. Monday we got an extra special interview. We're going to be doing live on Twitch next Monday. So that episode will drop right after. We talked about it, but we're going to wait and drop a little bit of excitement later on in the week. And then next Wednesday will be our normal podcast as usual. So this coming Monday, we are looking at we're going to possibly have a former WWE superstar on for an interview. So looking forward to that. Make sure you guys tune in for that Monday and Wednesday next week. AJ, that's going on Monday. What's going on Wednesday next week?
So Wednesday next week, we will do our usual recaps and all the good stuffs. And like you said earlier, Dropkick Discussion, which I'm super excited to talk about, is worst gimmicks.
Be a fun one.
That's going to be awesome, because there are so many stupid but amazing gimmicks that we can talk about and basically make fun. I just want to make fun of I want to make fun of the Christmas creature. Is the whole? I'm not even going to put Christmas creature on my list, but that's a good example of the nonsense.
Gobbledygooker kind of stuff is what
the original dentist.
The original Dwight Yankum.
Yeah. Isaac Yankum, Sir Isaac Yankum.
Sorry,
Who's
Isaac
Dwight
Yankum.
Yankum? Oh, I was thinking
Dwight Yoakam?
Dwight Yoakam.
Wow.
He
ever walked streets of Bakersfield.
He was a dentist in his free time.
So yeah, got 2 pods next week. AJ, before we get here, I got a little side note for you. I thought about you this weekend because well, you're just a beautiful man, and
obviously.
What I was thinking was, I was watching Georgia Clemson, and I thought about you because Georgia Clemson football game. Okay,
sports ball, very important.
Yeah, football. Yeah. So the Georgia football team was the defense was calling themselves the Junkyard Dogs.
Yes, you're kidding me.
They got to come out to grab them cakes, or that's not doing it right. No, you know what I'm saying?
That is a missed opportunity if they don't. I don't care.
They got to come out to this song, man. That's why I posted it today on Twitter to put it in the universe.
I don't care if it's times appropriate or not. You have to. If you're going to call yourself the Junkyard Dogs, how can you not come out to grab them cakes? I mean, get your shit together. University of Georgia, right? They're the Bulldogs.
Yep.
Look at me with sports things.
That's right. All right, we're going to finish up the show today. Make sure you stay tuned to our social media coming up for that big interview on Monday with a former WWE superstar. For my lovely co-host, the real heel himself, Primo Silver Fox. Good job today, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. The man, and just want to acknowledge you here before we head out.
I'm glad the head of the table.
Me.
AJ, thank you, sir, for your services today. Appreciate it.
I'm Sir Murderhawk bowing.
Welcome, Undead. It's the end of the show. You missed it.
All right. Well, it is
snuck right in there.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We really appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week. 2 big pods next week, man. Can't wait for that interview on Monday and then a regular pod on Wednesday. So we'll see you guys next time. AJ, take us home.
And grab them cakes. That's not how the song goes, but I forgot how it went. Grab them cakes.